after 9.
I'm Doug Dodds. Here's today's top stories from the Cayman 27 newsroom. Cayman's UK Representative Eric Bush and the head of the United Kingdom's crime agency held discussions in London on Wednesday following an agreement between the two nations to resume working together on exchanging tax information. An initial agreement was put on hold by the Premier, Alder McLaughlin, after the UK Parliament voted to impose public beneficial ownership registries on overseas territories. Deputy Governor Franz Manderson vows quick action from the civil service to address Auditor General Sue Winspear's concerns of slow progress in implementing recommendations from the Public Accounts Committee. Now, if you remember, Winspear particularly singled out social welfare program changes as not having been implemented quickly enough. Manderson assured that he will be progressing with a sense of urgency. And finally today, University of College of the Cayman Islands announces Dr. Stacey McAfee as its new president starting January 1st. McAfee joins UCCI from the University of the Pacific in California, where she was Associate Vice President of External Relations, Strategic Partnerships, and Presidential Initiatives. For more news on these stories and others, click on Cayman 27 on KY or watch the news tonight at 6 with a replay at 7. For Hurley's Media, I'm Doug Dodds. Have a great day.
Be a part of the conversation on Cayman Crosstalk by calling the Superior Auto Hotline, 233-1019, or message us on the Cayman Crosstalk Facebook page. Now, back to Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and simulcast live on Cayman 27. This hour of Cayman Crosstalk is powered by Subway. Subway. With 6 locations across Cayman, you know it makes sense to choose Subway. Subway. Eat fresh. Eat delicious. More of Cayman Crosstalk is next on Rooster 101 and simulcast live on Cayman 27.
Good morning, my lovely, beautiful Cayman Islands, and thank you all very much for tuning in and letting us be part of your morning and part of your day. Thank you. Thank you. Greatly appreciate it. And I just want to say a very good morning to everyone around the world as well that has been tuning in and letting us be part of your days. Greatly appreciate it. We're anticipating that we're going to have MLA Kenneth Bryan in the studios this morning. I haven't heard from him yet, but I'm assuming that he will be in. And I just want to say to all of you yesterday, thank you very much for the wonderful comments and so forth that you've been sending through, especially to Mr. Marin, requesting that maybe sometimes the show can go longer and during the days because it just gets kind of, going sometimes right at the very end of the show. Excuse me. And yesterday was a really good show. I just want to sincerely thank Chief Officer Anjaniki, along with her heads of department, Mr. Hilton. Thank you. I don't know. I had a brain. Thank you very much. See if Christopher, I'm missing you already. Mr. Hilton and Miss Mendoza Williams. I got that written down. Geez, thank you very much, Christopher. I'm thinking of giving away stuff this morning. That's probably why. I got a couple of giveaways for our wonderful guests this morning. We're going to have some giveaways basically for the whole entire week. And today I have a pair of tickets that I would like to give people. In fact, they told me to give 2 times out individually. But to tell you the truth, I like people to go together. I like people to take a friend with them. And sometimes maybe the cash isn't always there for you to really bring somebody and then you don't use a ticket. I've just been feeling a lot of those things lately. And so I just want you all, my wonderful listening audience, to win some stuff and have a great evening, have a great time. And I'm going to make it quite easy for you. There's 2 tickets. It's worth $60 because I'm giving 2 of them away. I'm probably going to get a little bit from sales saying you're supposed to give 2 individual ones away. Well, I'm the captain in the seat right now. And take it up with me afterwards. I'm going to give a pair of tickets away to the Moon on a Rainbow Shawl. We had the stage manager and one of the actresses come in. I think about a week ago, week and a half, thereabouts. right before it opened, and it should be a very good show. It's an award-winning show in the Caribbean as well. And these tickets are for Sunday, the matinee at 6 p.m. And I would love for you all to go to that. You have no excuse at that one. Each ticket is $30. This is an adult ticket. And the tickets are in sequential order. One is 13, the other one is 14. And so I would love to give those tickets away. Moon on a Rainbow Shawl. And these are some of the details that I'm going to probably be asking all of you. One, the name of it, Moon on a Rainbow Shawl. And the playwright is Errol Johns. Errol John. His name is Errol John, the playwright. And it's going to be playing this Sunday. It's the whole entire weekend, to be honest with you. But these tickets in particular are going to be for this Sunday, November the 5th, 25th. Well, that's next week. Well, November the 25th. That is 2 weeks away. November the 25th. I think that's one of the last shows that they're going to be having as well. So that means everybody is well seasoned and that you have no excuse to mark it on your calendar and get ready. You need a new dress, need a new suit, need a new shirt, need a new pant, whatever it may be. You have no excuse at that particular time. 30 tickets. It's being put on by the CNCF, the Cayman National Cultural Foundation. And it's a Errol John, Moon on the Rainbow Shawl. These tickets are going to be for the 25th of November at 6 p.m. And you can get these tickets at all ticket outlets, especially like Funky Tangs. And I believe you can get it also at the Grand Harbor Pharmacy, I believe. Or simply just give the Harquill a call, 949-5477, 949-5477. Those are some of the details I'm going to be giving all of you when I come back right after this short message. But everybody, according to Doug and according to Jason and so forth, the whole entire talk of Hurley's Media yesterday was my mustache and the look therein or thereof. And I just want to let people know it's for two reasons. One, the main reason is Movember. I am wanting to make sure that we get as much males as possible, breaking down any kind of stigmas they may have in their mind about going and get examined for prostate cancer. Well, we can actually do things a little easier now, gentlemen. We can go and get a PSA test. And that test is going to be absolutely free next week, Thursday. And I believe it's the 15th of November, 6 p.m., 6:30 p.m. at the Lions Center. And I would like for all of you to come. It's going to be a little presentation, some light refreshments and so forth. It's going to be available as well. And we're going to be talking about male issues, especially prostate. And the reason why I'm fighting this is because I lost a couple of friends to prostate cancer. And prostate cancer, ladies and gentlemen, I found on this show, it is one of the cancers that, if caught early, could be completely removed, and you can have a wonderful, everlasting life. If you leave it and you forget it, the outcome is what I'm going through now, still mourning the passing of a friend. And I don't want that for anyone, no one whatsoever. So I want you all to join me. I want you all to go by, and you can't get no better than that. It is absolutely free. All of the testing is absolutely free. They will take your contact details. If they find anything that's elevated or something, they will let you know, and they will help you coordinate with your GP or any other specialist that you need to make sure that you get tested. If you have an issue, get it arrested and get it removed immediately so that you can have a wonderful life. And there's new technologies now, gentlemen, like what Health City has, which is called HIFU, which is high frequency airwaves. Ultraviolet waves it is, and no cutting, just light that really eradicates any kind of cancer cells or polyps, anything of that nature. So it makes it a lot easier on all of you. So I want all of you to make sure that you join me and take advantage of Movember. And this is my way of supporting it as well. And this is 2 reasons why the mustache is this way. One, my intern, Chris, it's a bittersweet moment. I don't want to bring him out on the too much, but my intern is leaving me. This Friday is his last day with me. He's going on to create a better CV before he leaves in February to go and pursue additional education. And I'm missing him already. And I just wanted to let him know that I appreciate him, and he's a smart whip. But the other day we were talking about it, and I had my beard growing, and I didn't just want to grow my mustache because it looks like I didn't clean my lip for about 2 days if I just had the stubble on the lip. And so we asked whether or not what we should do, if we should do like the Tom Selleck or the Fu Manchu or the handlebar or whatever it is. Christopher says, Tom Selleck. And so we had some social media come through, almost a couple hundred, and people were saying, yeah, the Magnum PI. One person out of all of those ones said, Quigley Down Under. I'll be honest with you, I didn't have no clue that he had a movie or anything called Quigley Down Under. I'm a Magnum PI fan, but I'm not really necessarily a Tom Selleck fan per se. So I had to go and watch it. And hence the reason why, 2 things. Christopher, half of it is the top lip. The other half is my son. And that one lone person out of almost 200 people that told me Quigley Down Under. My 3-year-old son, or he just turned 4 actually. My 4-year-old son said he was the only one that didn't say nothing. He says, I like it, Daddy. So, children do have no censor, no filter. So I just simply did it. So this is my Quigley Down Under look. And I'm going to use this as much as possible. If we can save one life, to me, that is precious. And I want all of you gentlemen, every one of you, to join me on next week, Thursday as well. Bring your friends as well. And let's just start saving some lives, especially Caribbean men with Afro backgrounds and heritage and lineage. You're unfortunately much more prone to prostate cancer. Not sure why, but we don't give a crap about that right now. We just want to save your life. And so let's just not wait until it's too late. We want you to be saved, and we want you to be here with us for a very, very long time. If it pleases you to annoy us while you're here, we're going to love that annoying. If it pleases you to just be here and laugh and go on, your presence is much more, how would you say, pleasing to have you here than not at all. And so, gentlemen, I'm talking to you. If you got children, look over at them. If you got a beautiful wife and a spouse, or even a girlfriend, or a wife and a girlfriend, look at both of them. And just look at life and see how wonderful life is. And those are the people that care about you. And remember that. So let's break down barriers. Go and see your GP. If you don't have a special GP or anything else, I can tell you the truth. I recommend Dr. Sidney Ebanks at a doctor's hospital right in the center of town, CTMH. And he's a good doctor. Cares a lot about this cause as well. And so you can go by, and if you need a GP, Dr. Sidney Ebanks at CTMH Doctors Hospital could be your GP if you didn't have one yet. And let's just get this thing done, gentlemen. All right, well, coming up, I am going to give away a couple of tickets to Errol John's Moon on a Rainbow Shawl, and it's worth $60. And right now, I'm just going to do a little time check for our wonderful friends at Subway. Time check in the studios right now is 7:15. Time check is brought to you by our wonderful friends at Subway. Ladies and gentlemen, if you got to start your morning off really well with a great cup of coffee, Subway now can help you with that. Not only with their beautiful breakfast BMT, but you can get a cup of coffee as well. And here's what they're going to do if you get a cup of coffee from their great coffee station. They will give you a free cookie of your choice. Yep, it's maybe a limited time. So I'd advise all of you, if you want a great deal for breakfast, if you want coffee, you want to save some money, but you want a little treat along with it, Subway now has your back. All Subway locations, 6 of them, from East End straight to West Bay. Subway has also opened 2 stores to serve you even better. One in West Bay at Centennial Towers. The other one in Central Georgetown. Both of them are open 24/7. Subway. Eat fresh. Eat delicious!
This hour of Cayman Crosstalk is powered by Subway. Subway, with 6 locations across Cayman, you know it makes sense to choose Subway. Subway, eat fresh, eat delicious. More of Cayman Crosstalk is next on Rooster 101 and simulcast live on Cayman 27.
We do a whole lot more than just cover your floor at Paramount. Carpet, any style, carpet or tile, insulation and drywall too. Everything's beautiful, come and see. The Paramount name means quality. It'll be a brand new world under your feet. We do a whole lot more than just cover your floor at Paramount. Carpet.
Let Seaboard bring the world to you. We offer the best shipping rates and service to and from Grand Cayman with over 35 shipping routes, full container shipping from Miami, Brooklyn, Houston, and Jamaica, plus small package shipments from Miami and Jamaica. You name it, and Seaboard will ship it. Our excellent warehouse facilities in Miami mean you can consolidate your goods to save yourself time and money. For shipping made easy, call or visit our website today. Shipping shore to shore. Seaboard.
Shipping shore to shore. Seaboard.
This is the Volvo Ocean Race, the story of a 45-year obsession. Sailing's iconic race around the world, the ultimate test of a team, and the place where elite sport meets human adventure. With up to 10 sailors packed into 65 feet of carbon fiber for weeks on end, in a race that lasts almost 9 months, it's an adventure that borders on a psychological experiment.
We're on a mission to reinvent the way we look at sport. En route, we'll be meeting the biggest names and the brightest stars, looking to pinpoint the precision of success.
We're all born with some degree of athleticism. As you get to that top of the pyramid, it's the very small things that make the difference.
Work hard to stay focused, to get it done. I know everything I did it for a reason.
You have to be a little bit insane, I think.
Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and simulcast live on Cayman 27.
All right. Happy Thursday to all of you. Thank you all very much for tuning in to Cayman Crosstalk. And if you'd like to participate this morning, jot these numbers down because I'm going to be giving away a pair of tickets to a wonderful presentation at the Hartwell Theater. And it's going to be these tickets are for Sunday, the 25th of November. It's a 6 p.m. matinee show. And it's going to be the play by Errol John. It's called Moon on a Rainbow Shawl. And so jot these numbers down, ladies and gentlemen. 233-1019. That is 233-1019. That is the in-studio number. We're going to be opening it up very shortly for all of you. We're going to ask you some softball questions so it can make a person happy. I'm going to give you 2 tickets so that you can take a friend, take a loved one, take a significant other with you, that you can enjoy it and you don't have to worry about finding cash or finding someone who has the cash to go with you if that's the issue. I don't want that to be ever a barrier to really enjoying great performances that we have in the Cayman Islands. All right, 233-1019, 233-1019. That's sponsored by Superior Auto. If you're looking for a great location to take your car, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you, this is personal testimony. You couldn't find a better location than Superior Auto. If you don't want to be or have a conniption fit from your price of your billing and the servicing of your car, well, check out Superior Auto. If you want honest work, great workmanship, honest billing, check out Superior Auto. That has been my experience, not just only recently, but for years as well. They can take care of any car that you need. If your check engine light pops up and you have no clue what that means, they have all the diagnostic equipment there to tell you what it is and how to fix it and how to remedy it as well. And they don't do anything on your car unless you tell them to do so. And I can guarantee you're going to be very happy. Your car is going to be happy. Once your car is happy, you don't have to walk. And those are some of the things that I can personally testify to. Superior Auto, wonderful people, Seymour Drive, check them out. Second number that if you want to participate in conversations is 234-1019. That is 324-1019. That is our WhatsApp number. And you can send that straight through to all of us as well. I'll be happy to share those with the guest in the studio. If not the guest, we'll see what happens. I haven't heard from MLA Kenneth Bryan yet. I'm assuming he's coming in. If not, we're going to have an open microphone segment this morning, ladies and gentlemen. In addition to that, we also got the email, which is caymancrosstalk@hurleysmedia.ky, caymancrosstalk@hurleysmedia.ky. And we also got the Facebook page, which is Cayman Crosstalk. And if you're watching and streaming us on Facebook Live over in our sister station, respectfully, if you're dropping a comment there, I can't help you. I like to try to answer as much comments, weave them into conversations as much as possible, even acknowledge that you're there. I can't do that if you're over at Cayman 27. Just go up to the search bar, type in Cayman Crosstalk. It's going to pop up. If you haven't liked us, please like us. I've been loving and appreciating your likes and your wonderful comments and your ratings. Thank you very much. Greatly, greatly appreciate it. And so this morning, like I said, I want to give away a pair of tickets. A pair of tickets. Sales is going to kill me because I was supposed to give away one individual ticket twice today. But I want all of you to be happy as much as possible. And we're going to be probably bringing back $5,000 in your hand sometime during the week as well. Also got some basketball tickets that I'm going to be giving away to the NAC. What is it again? What is it, Chris? I'm missing you already. NCAA college basketball tournament that's coming back to the Cayman Islands. It's the return of the Cayman Islands Classic. It's going to start on November the 19th and going to run straight through to the 21st of November, and it's going to be held at the John Gray Gymnasium. It is still smelling brand spanking new, and we're going to have teams from Clemson, Georgia, Illinois State, St. Bonaventure, and we're also going to have Boise State, Creighton, Akron, and Georgia State all playing in these games as well, and we got to look out for some special Ds. You can get some tickets at Smoothie King, Funky Tangs and Reflections, Food for Less, the airport location. And I'm going to be giving away a pair of tickets to that that's worth $100, $50 each. And I'll tell you the truth, ladies and gentlemen, you can't beat that deal. So you got to keep tuned. I'm also going to probably be bringing you some tickets this maybe coming week as well, or maybe even next week. We'd like to put $5,000 in your hand, so you got to keep tuned. And you got to jot down the things that I've been saying throughout the whole entire first segment, second segment as well, for all of these great things. I would like to put $5,000 in your hand, or even $3,000, or even $1,000, or even a consolation prize. Imagine a consolation prize is $100 just for participating and just for buying a ticket. And the tickets only cost $10, and that's to the Cayman Islands Seafarers Association annual banquet, and that is going to be held on the 1st of December, 2018. At the Seafarers Building, 11 Victory Avenue, Prospect. And all proceeds of the sale will go to support their members and other great things that they provide, and like giving scholarships to doctors wanting to do their specialty, or local doctors wanting to get specialized medicine. So all of those great things are coming up. Number in the studios is 233-1019. 233-1019. I have a pair of tickets with your name on it. I'm going to give some softball questions. Pair of tickets right now to Errol John's Moan on a Rainbow Shawl. And they're for November the 25th. And it's put on by the CNCF. And I want you to tell me, what is the CNCF? And who's the playwright? The name of the play. And frankly, I want you to tell me who directed it and who designed it. That's the only one that I'm not giving you. And you should probably know that. The director and the designer of the set. If you listen to her show, you'll probably get that one as well. 233-1019, 233-1019. A pair of tickets, ladies and gentlemen. I would love to give that to someone right now that you can take a friend with you on Sunday, the 25th of November at 6 p.m. 233-1019, 233-1019. I'm going to keep on asking It's like I feel like an auctioneer this morning, Christopher. Blah, 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 blah. Come on. 233-1019. You can pick up a pair of tickets easily. It's $60 worth, and you can get these tickets by calling the Hartwell Theater, 949-5477, 949-5477, and I got tickets in sequential order. Number 13 and 14. That should be a lucky one for all of you right now. 233-1019. Here are some of the questions that I'm going to be asking you. CNCF presents Errol John, Moon on a Rainbow Shawl. Is directed and designed by, I'm going to give you this one, Henry Mathieu. All right. And it's going to be held at the Hartwell Theater. It's a 17 Hartwell Drive. If you want a ticket, 949-5477. So 233-1019, 233-1019. And you know, one last opportunity, 233-1019, if you would like to have these tickets. All right. Hello, caller. Good morning, caller.
Hello.
Hi, good morning. Happy Thursday to you.
Thank you.
All right. Are you ready to play?
I am.
All right, caller. I'm not sure if you're in your car, but I think your AC or something is buffering in your phone. I would like to hear you. And our guest as well, if maybe you can turn that down or...
Okay.
Because we're getting a lot of feedback in the studio.
No, I turned it off.
All right. Yeah, that sounds a lot better. Yep. All right, you ready?
Yep.
All right. I want you to tell me what is the name of the play that I'm giving a pair of tickets away to.
Moon over a rainbow shawl.
You almost got it right. Moon on a rainbow shawl.
Oh.
All right, that's a half of one. That's a half of one. Here's the other one that you can make it up with. Who is the playwright? Whom is the playwright?
Errol John.
All right, you got that one. Ding, 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 ding. Who is the director and the set designer of
Henry Mathieu.
Oh, man, you're clicking him off. All right, can you tell me what CNCF stands for?
Sorry?
Can you tell me what CNCF stands for?
Oh, Cayman National Cultural Foundation.
Oh, man, you got it down. And one last one. Where will it be seen and viewed that if you won these pair of tickets, where would you have to go?
The Hartwell Theater.
Oh, man, ding, 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 ding. All right, caller, you are the lucky winner. Happy Thursday to you. And I got to ask you, who made you a winner this morning?
Cayman Crosstalk, Rooster, 101.9.
All right. And, you know, Christopher put this caveat on there, and I'm just doing it for him because he's leaving me over the weekend. Can you do a rooster crow for me? All right, I love it. Thank you very much, caller. I want you to hold on, please. Christopher is going to take your contact details so you can come by our wonderful studios. Congratulations to you, and thank you very much for playing.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful day. And Christopher is going to take those contact details for that caller right now. And I just want to sincerely thank all of you for coming in and calling in 233-1019 if you would like to participate. And we're going to be giving away some more stuff throughout the week as well. We got some possible to put $5,000 in your hand. I think we're going to probably do that tomorrow. We also got some tickets for the NCAA basketball tournament. So you got to keep tuned to all of those things as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to come right back. And I just got a text saying Mr. Brian is on his way, but stuck in traffic. And so we'll be coming back very, very shortly. Thank you all very much. And we got some emails and some WhatsApps that we probably can read in the meantime as well.
This hour of Cayman Crosstalk is powered by Subway. Subway, with 6 locations across Cayman, you know it makes sense to choose Subway. Subway, eat fresh, eat delicious. More of Cayman Crosstalk is next on Rooster 101 and simulcast live on Cayman 27.
Sometimes having a middleman is not a bad thing, especially when it comes to insurance. Do you know that when it comes to cost, ease, speed, and peace of mind, insurance brokers ranked higher than when customers buy direct? So, for all your insurance needs, call Fidelity Insurance. We're the middleman you want. Call us today at 949-7822. Fidelity. we're good for you.
Let Seaboard bring the world to you. We offer the best shipping rates and service to and from Grand Cayman with over 35 shipping routes, full container shipping from Miami, Brooklyn, Houston, and Jamaica, plus small package shipments from Miami and Jamaica. You name it, and Seaboard will ship it. Our excellent warehouse facilities in Miami mean you can consolidate your goods to save yourself time and money. For shipping made easy, call or visit our website today. Shipping shore to shore. Seaboard.
Shipping shore to shore. Seaboard.
Watch as some of the world's most talented people put their skills to the test as they attempt to make their mark in the record books. You'll witness some of the craziest, scariest, most bizarre stunts people will do, all in the name of stardom. It's the ultimate Guinness World Records, and it's right here on Cayman 27. Capture all the action.
What's up, everyone? I'm Doug Dodds. Here's today's top stories from the Cayman 27 newsroom. Cayman's UK Representative Eric Bush and the head of the United Kingdom's crime agency held discussions in London on Wednesday following an agreement between the two nations to resume working together on exchanging tax information. An initial agreement was put on hold by the Premier, Alden McLaughlin, after the UK Parliament voted to impose public beneficial ownership registries on overseas territories. Deputy Governor Franz Manderson vows quick action from the civil service to address Auditor General Sue Winspear's concerns of slow progress in implementing recommendations from the Public Accounts Committee. Now, if you remember, Winspear particularly singled out social welfare program changes as not having been implemented quickly enough. Manderson assured that he will be progressing with a sense of urgency. And finally today, University of College of the Cayman Islands announces Dr. Stacey McAfee as its new president starting January 1st. McAfee joins UCCI from the University of the Pacific in California, where she was Associate Vice President of External Relations, Strategic Partnerships, and Presidential Initiatives. For more news on these stories and others, click on Cayman 27 on KY or watch the news tonight at 6 with a replay at 7. For Hurley's Media, I'm Doug Dodds. Have a great day.
Be a part of the conversation on Cayman Crosstalk by calling the Superior Auto Hotline, 233-1019, or message us on the Cayman Crosstalk Facebook page. Now, back to Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and simulcast live on Cayman 27.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, happy Wednesday. Thursday for all of you. Oh, my gosh. And I just want to say, just a wonderful good morning. We've been getting a lot of social media and stuff coming through. I just want to sincerely thank all of you for that. MLA Kenneth Bryant is on his way, and so we're not going to have really any kind of open mic. We'll just wait to see what his agenda is. His agenda is actually pretty jam-packed. He's going to be asking a lot of questions. He submitted a lot of questions for the upcoming LA session that's coming in. And he's touched on them before, letting all of you know how hard he's trying to work. And he's trying not to say play any politics, so to speak, and just laying it all on the line and seeing whether or not the government is going to be genuine with their initiatives and with their thought of wanting to represent all. And so he has a lot of questions, and more than likely he'll probably continue laying out some of those questions because we didn't get to finish it last week as we were trying to get all of your calls and so forth as well, and feel those calls. And he really is not shying away from any of those stories as well. So I just want to let all of you know that. And Pirates Week is going to be coming up for all of you. Well, Pirates Week is actually now, which is kind of the ironic thing about it. I got to wrap my mind around it. Normally, and I say this with the greatest respect, I adore Melanie, and I adore, Festa and all of those ones as well. But my thought was, Christopher, and I got to pull you into this, if you don't mind. See, my whole entire thing with Pirates Week was the theme and the concept, and I don't know what happened and where it changed, and I guess stakeholder buy-in, but we've been feeling, and you know this, we've been fielding a lot of calls wondering, is Pirates Week actually on? Is it going on? When are the Heritage Days? People are, in general, kind of wondering what it is because it was kind of lackluster, so to speak. And we've been feeling a lot of calls here, and we believe that we have a sense of somewhat what the pulse of the average Jane and Joe feels on the island. And I think what happened is that my thought was Pirates Week meant the Pirates landed, they captured their governor, held the governor for a whole entire week, and just had it with the whole entire island. They just ramshot the whole entire island for a whole entire week until we regrouped and we got our governor back and we kicked him off the island until they come back next year. And so that was Pirates Week per se. Now, it's the whole entire week. So once they landed, then they went to each district and had a party. Party, as you heard from my wonderful, oh my gosh, my top favorite songwriters ever and singers, Dave Martin and the Trade Winds. You can hear that song in the background. But it's like, I know I'm topsy-turvy. There's another word I have from West Bay, but I can't say it on air because I might get fined by off-reg. But it's like Pirates Week is happening before Pirates landed. And the Pirates, I guess, we are so good in the 21st century that they can't land more than one day. I guess that's kind of what it is. And so those are the things that we've been feeling. What are your thoughts of what's happening with Pirates Week?
Well, I heard, they had I read on the news, I think yesterday, they need a they're saying they need a major sponsor to help with the funding. Correct me if I'm wrong. I read that on CNS, but that's a bit disappointing to hear if that's the case, because, I've been going to Pirates Week ever since I was a little baby myself. My mum and dad used to take me in the stroller. I used to love it. Apart from maybe when I was little, the fireworks scared me a bit. But hearing that, it's just a bit upsetting, because this is like an annual event that almost everyone I know on Ireland loves to go to. You have a good collection of partying, cultural celebration of the island, and people just come to have a good time. But yeah,
I'm glad you say that. We got a bunch of callers on the line.
Yeah,
I have to play this. I see Kenneth can't hear nothing because he just walked in the studio. They always say, to me, this is the ultimate Pirates Week song. Let's get Masquerade. Come on, Christopher. Come on, Kenny. I know you can sing.
We having a celebration. Plans are already made. We're set.
Too fat.
So run and tell your friends and family. Put on some clothes and come and join the party.
There's a party with tempo. There's a party with bass.
Talk to me.
There's a big celebration all over the place.
Okay.
And the whole island pulsating. Woo! And the women dance. And the children prance.
Talk to me.
And the old people come out to see.
Woody the Costa.
Yes! Pirates Week. It is happening this weekend. Thursday, fireworks in Central Georgetown and MLA Kenneth Bryan's district at 8 p.m. That is the ultimate Pirates Week song. And I just want to say to my Clive in the back and Master Control, Clive, thank you for being part of this wonderful group called Trade Winds. You made, to be honest with you, the Trade Winds made my youth. And I just want to say thank you, Clive, and thank you to Dave Martins as well. Kenny, I just want to say welcome to the studios, and we got a pile of callers. I don't know, maybe I piqued the interest with this one. Good morning, caller. How are you? All right, didn't stay on. Hello, caller. And they must have scared them away with my singing. Good morning, caller. Everyone gone. Hello. All right. Hello, caller. Good morning, caller.
Hello.
Hi. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Wooden. Good morning, your guest.
Good morning.
Morning.
I think that song you just sung first week woke up first week more than has ever been booked for the whole week. Because everybody's so confused as how Paris Week is going this year because we've never, like you said, we've always had the landing first in the district, but they did it opposite. I don't know who got into that one, but by they doing it that way, I was very, very disappointed. There were a lot of the turnouts that we're getting for the heritages, but a lot of people weren't even aware that they even how the heritage was going because there wasn't very much advertising in the last couple of days of the heritage. So I don't know. I think that we need to go back to what first it was original designed for, because it was supposed to be there to bring revenue into the country, because it was a slow time of the year. And a lot of people look forward to Pirates Week. Like you said, the captain of the government, that was what everybody knew what Pirates Week was. But then for them to do it the opposite way around, it throwed everybody off. So we're not even sure how long is Pirates Week lasting, whether it's a one-day festival now or whether it's a week as in day Pirates Week.
Yeah, it's...
thank you for waking up with that song.
Well, thank you. And I want to thank you for your kindness as well. Thank you very much, my caller. Honestly, greatly appreciate it. We got callers online. Good morning, caller. How are you this morning? All right. Good morning, caller. How are you this morning?
Hello. Good morning. Good morning, Buddha.
Good morning. Hey, what's up, Ram?
Right here, man. Still my R&R. That's recreation. Chilling out. But every day I'm a pirate. Every day I'm a pirate. What do I call about different area this morning, right? What, right? Went on a block door there, right? The garbage truck broke down, right? And those gentlemen down there, right? Up there, they use the backhoe, you know, the bucket of backhoe for the garbage in it. Every lane in the block. And everything went pristine, immaculate, clean. And look what it down here came on. Look the place what it deteriorated. The garbage dump, they didn't get that resolved right away. Really truly. It out of hand. It was ridiculous.
I agree.
Trust me, man.
I agree.
But you should have back differently. Every lane they went down now, and every road now. In the space of the day, everything both side island. Right? But boy came on. Awkward. But I don't know where come complain this morning. It's all here up differently. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Respect, man. Have a good day. Lay down for contribute on Facebook.
All right, brother. Good, man. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to it.
Depends on the topic, whatever. All right?
Yep. Yeah, you know, someone actually texted the exact word I was thinking. They said it's north-sided, but I would argue with all of you. You see, Kenneth is here, so he's making an MLA salary, so I'm going to say if we get fined, I'll make Kenneth pay for it. But I will argue with that individual, say that's a West Bay word.
Which word?
I can't say it.
Okay.
It's one of those words that, you know, when you do things, the English say topsy-turvy. We would say something different. Christopher is killing himself laughing. We would say in West Bay, it starts with, you know, like your backside, you know, A.
Yeah.
Fumas?
Yeah.
All right.
That's okay. I think you can technically get away with it because the definition of the word AS is a donkey. So technically speaking, you can get away with that on the radio. Asphomous is not a bad word.
I didn't say that, you know.
But no.
The legislator said it.
No. The disclaimer from a perspective of, remember now, I come from media.
Absolutely.
And knowing what words can be defined as negative or derogatory. But there's certain words that you can repeat because they have other definitions within the dictionary as to what they are. So, but I don't even think that has a particular negative connotation. It's more like you're confused.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't think you're trying to be deliberately mean. So I don't see what's wrong with you saying that. It's the old Caymanian way. And believe it or not, some of these types of things that we are shy to speak about are part of our culture.
Yeah.
That word is a word that actually you find in, you know, the Caymanian book or Caymanian words?
Dictionary.
The Caymanian dictionary. That word is in there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not afraid to say part of who I am.
Mr. Goring, and also it's in the West Bay Dictionary as well. That's why it's said to that person, that north sider. It's a West Bay thing.
Well, I heard it in Cayman Brac plenty of times. So.
Let's go to this last caller. Let's see if they're there. Hello, caller.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Doc.
Good morning, Dr. McPhail.
Good morning, Steve McPhail here. I think you guys are not you guys, but you gentlemen, and the public is not getting the message about Pirates Week. People are finally waking up and are saying it's not our historical festival. We were never pirates. Pirates didn't look like me. And my people, the kind of people that I come from, did not sell people and did not debaucher people and murder people and cut people's throat and so forth. My people had to hide themselves from pirates selling them. And this is the problem. This is the contradiction in the Cayman Islands. Here we are, spending all this money to celebrate debauchery and murder and rape and pillage and everything. And on the other hand, we're trying to fight. We're carrying arms and imitation firearms. And on the other hand, an imitation firearm is an offense. It's an offensive weapon. You can go to jail for that. You can go to jail for carrying any offensive weapon, so as a knife or machete. And here we are with the contradiction. And a lot of people now are waking up and saying, we're not going to celebrate that. They find some other festival to celebrate. For instance, a festival that was Caymanian was the Emancipation Day on 1st of August. And they abandoned that because that was too real for them. That was too upfront. That was historical. That was too heart piercing for people to take. And here we are spending money on pirates and murder and pillage and so forth, and we think that's fun. That's not fun. The psychological damage that has been doing to people we can't quantify it because we haven't studied it to see what the results of it. And a lot of people now are getting said we're not supporting it, and we're not getting the message. We're not getting the message. Look at the message that the messengers are bringing. Pirates Week should not be a Caymanian festival. The majority of us here, or a large majority of us here, were never pirates. We had to hide our provisions and go into the land. And when pirates came to Cayman and landed. And look at the history. Look at the history of this country. Why we have to have a militia in the first place to protect ourselves from people landing here and stealing our provisions and invading our country. It's an anti-Christian festival. It doesn't even have anything to do with our religion and our social life and our historical development. It is a terrible festival, and I'm glad that is losing steam and it soon die a natural death. Thank you.
All right, Doctor. Well, you always got every other side of it all, So.
I have a different side of that. So I want to firstly say good morning to the listening audience across the world, across Cayman, across Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, in particular for those in the Georgetown Central area. Good morning to you. It's a pleasure to be here yet again, Woody, and I think I'm going to dive right into the hot mix of things.
All right, let's take a break before you get into the hot mix so that I can hit my my cues, because
no problem.
I don't want people to say that I'm not hitting the cues. And we talked about that before.
Stay tuned with us. We'll be right back here on Rooster 101.
And I got do a little time check, Kenny, and I wouldn't mind you helping me out with miss when you were here with me before, but you can still help me on Thursdays. In fact, we got guests that
do like to do it. Yeah, I'm hearing.
And so ladies and gentlemen, I just want to let you all know, and this one I know is dear to Emily O'Brien and his family as well. It's called the Subway Can Drive, and this drive ends December the 2nd, ladies and gentlemen, where you can bring your canned goods to any of the 6 locations of Subway across Grand Cayman, and you can get a free cookie when you drop off a can of provisions, a non-perishable item. Those canned goods will be donated to 2 wonderful charities that do great works. One is Feed Our Future. The other one is Meals on Wheels. And we are asking all of you, if you can please extend your Cayman holiday spirit this season at all 6 locations. And me personally, I just want to sincerely thank all of you in advance for doing so. There are people out there that are less fortunate, and I submit that we need to take care of our own on these kind of occasions as well. Sometimes they can't help the situations they're in, but if you can afford a can of tuna, or even just go and buy a case at one of the big box stores and just drop it off, it will go to a worthy cause, and you'll make Christmas much brighter for somebody else. And so I say that, thank you in advance again. You can do it at all 6 locations. There's 2 locations open 24/7, one in West Bay at Centennial Towers, the other one in Central Georgetown in MLA, Kenneth Bryan Electoral District. Anderson Square, Subway.
Eat fresh. Eat delicious.
This hour of Cayman Crosstalk is powered by Subway. Subway, with 6 locations across Cayman, you know it makes sense to choose Subway. Subway, eat fresh, eat delicious. More of Cayman Crosstalk is next on Rooster 101 and simulcast live on Cayman 27.
Ever wondered what smart health insurance feels like?
Premier Health's 24/7 worldwide health insurance does most of the thinking for you.
1,500 CGI health claims are settled daily.
55% of claims settled automatically.
You can access your health plan almost anywhere, anytime.
And have smart wellness with online data tracking.
And more provider choices for you and the people who matter most.
Premier Health is smart health insurance, and it feels good.
Brit K, where people come first.
It's fresh from the garden.
It's that turkey time of year, and Hurley's once again offers the finest pre-cooked turkey dinners in Cayman for Thanksgiving. Get a tender, juicy, oven-roasted turkey with 7 freshly made savory sides ready for you to enjoy at the office or at home. It's enough to feed a family of 12 for about $11 each. Don't be left out. Hurley's only makes a limited number of our Thanksgiving feasts. Order yours today at hurleys.ky/ordering. Hurley's, get fresh Thanksgiving with us.
It's that time of year again for the annual Cayman 27 Parade of Lights, brought to you by Bogle Insurance Brokers Limited. We're calling all boats to join us Saturday, December 1st at Camana Bay as the water comes to life with this year's theme, Christmas Around the World. It's completely free to enter, and there's a chance to win $1,000 and 2 general admission tickets to Kaboom. Or enter just for fun. Private and commercial boats are welcome. For more information and to register your boat, click on cayman27.ky.
Sometimes having a middleman is not a bad thing, especially when it comes to insurance. Do you know that when it comes to cost, ease, speed, and peace of mind, insurance brokers ranked higher than when customers buy direct? So, for all your insurance needs, call Fidelity Insurance. We're the middleman you want. Call us today at 949-7822. Fidelity. We're good for you.
Here is your weather forecast for this morning. Today, going to have a high of 84. They say with the real field temperature hovering around about 95 degrees, you got a 30% chance of experiencing some showers today. But if you do, they're going to be brief in passing. That means the synopsis for the beautiful daylight hours is as follows. It's going to be partly sunny. And here's what they actually have on the synopsis. And nice. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, winds are going to be coming at you from the east-northeast at 7 miles per hour with an occasional gust at about 10. They say it should be beautiful, smooth water out there between smooth and 2 feet, they say. So it should be a gorgeous day out there. Winds are going to change just slightly tonight to the northeast, dipping down to about 5 miles per hour. So it's going to be a very, very still night. And that's going to cool your surface temperatures down to 80 degrees. They say the heat index may indicate that it's close to probably feeling 88, 89 degrees tonight. You got a 25% chance of experiencing showers, but the synopsis for the nighttime is going to be very cloudy. And your sunrise this morning was at 6:29. Your sunset will be at 6:49, and you're holding at 11 hours and 20 minutes of beautiful tropical sunshine to really enjoy. You have a similar weather pattern straight through until Monday morning. All right, ladies and gentlemen, join us back with MLA Kenneth Bryan very shortly right after this. And remember, the number in the studios is 233-1019.
Be a part of the conversation on Cayman Crosstalk by calling the Superior Auto Hotline, 233-1019. or message us on the Cayman Crosstalk Facebook page. Now, back to Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and simulcast live on Cayman 27.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much. I got a lot of, Christopher, I got about 17 different messages coming in this morning. Wanted to hear that song again. It's like people never heard that song. I don't understand. They never heard that song before. You know what? I'm sorry. I used an excuse to play that song one more time. I'm going to play this song for you. I got about 17 messages. Just want to hear that little snippet of that song. MLA Kenneth Bryan is back in the studios right now. MLA Bryan, we got like 17 messages wanting to hear that song again. Not with me singing, obviously, but I can't help but do it. But it's like a lot of people never heard that song before. It's strange.
Let's see if we can get people in the mood. I mean, I think
because we want them to come to your district.
Yeah, today is actually Georgetown Heritage Day, and I was going to get into that shortly anyway. So, what a beautiful way to do it. Today is Georgetown Heritage Day, and a lot of food vendors out there, particularly our Georgetown, great cooks. They're going to have their stands out there. So don't buy lunch from anywhere else other than downtown. Make sure you get your friends and say, listen, let's take our lunch break and go down there and support the Georgetown vendors and get in the party mood, right? And get into the party celebration. So let's play that song again for everybody so we can get people in a jovial mood going into work.
Yeah, man. And all right, ladies and gentlemen, this is called Pirates Party by Dave Martins and the Trade Winds. Pirates Party, I believe Mr. Colin Panton, whom was the chairman of the Pirates Week Committee way back in the early 80s, brought down basically Dave Martins or had them create this song. And we got to thank Mr. Colin Panton for that as well. So, Mr. Panton, thank you.
So run and tell your friends and family.
I can't help.
Put on some clothes and come and join the party.
It's a party with tempo. It's a party with bass. It's a big celebration
all over the place.
Do me a favor. Let's see if Mr. Clive is in the back. Bring him up in here.
While
the women dance and the children prance.
Okay.
And the old people come out to see.
And the whole island
is one big party. That's Mr. Clive in the background. I'm going to try to get him come in if he's here. You come in?
The first thing Saturday morning, we coming in from the sea in wave after wave. And as we approach the harbor, we fire in gun like peas. We brave, real brave, but we only played in bad for so you see. Actually,
come on, Mr. Clive. Come on. You gotta remember it.
Party with tempo, a party with bass, a big celebration all over the place, and the whole island pulsating.
Talk to me.
And the women dance. Come on, Clive, come on.
And the
old people come out to see.
And the whole island is one big party.
Party.
We're starting Pirates. We get off, Mr. Clive. And like I said, I want to sincerely thank you, my friend. And Dave Martins. Honestly, this is me. You all were like the how would you say it today? We got a song list, whatever it is.
Playlist.
Mm-hmm. You were like the playlist. I had cassette tapes in 33 and a thirds and 45s. But even though it is scratched, let me tell you something.
You know, there's no 33 and a third anymore.
I know. The only one I have left, and I got a whole pile left, but I tell you the truth, I was so prideful when I first started this show. Several people that I wanted to meet, and it was always a big thing, was you, Mr. Dave Martins, Barefoot Man, and Andy Martin. And because my Christmas cannot be Christmas without Barefoot Man.
Oh, yeah.
And the two of them came in one day when I extended for Cayman to come and sing. And Kenneth, I believe, was part of that as well, too. We had Cayman in the studio, even though we had a cell, in essence, at the whole studio, they came in and we played Christmas songs and so forth. And I continue doing that. But I tell you the truth, you all were the playlist of my childhood. And still to this day, you hear me, Brother Jonesy, I mean, the list can go on and on. You made my life, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I know. I recognize that because I hear you every now and then playing the Trade Winds music and so on, you know.
That's Cayman. I start off my show with that.
There you go.
With that every morning, almost every morning.
If I can chime in a little bit, do you think that the Pirate Creek Carnival feeling has become something that is cultural for us? I mean, I grew up on that song. Like, I don't know a time in my life when there wasn't a Pirates Week, because we have differing views in our community that say that, you know, Pirates Week is not culturally something that we should celebrate, or it's not a part of our culture. But I differ a little bit because I believe culture changes and new things become part of your culture. Sure. I mean, for me, in my generation coming up, that's all we ever knew. We've never known a time in Cayman that there wasn't a Pirates Week. So it's become my culture. It may not have been a culture for somebody who was 60 or 70 or 80. I respect their time, but from when I was like 9 years old, I remember going to Pirates Week. That's as far back as my memory for Pirates Week goes back. But do you think that culture changed? You're a person who's been in various different Caribbean islands and flavors, and the fact that we have songs and records made surrounding this culture tells you, or surrounding this event, tells you that it's become a cultural thing. What do you think?
I think what you're saying there is absolutely true. It's that we just happen to, as Trade Winds, we just happen to fall in at the right time. Because when we got here, Pirates Week had already started. So we just said we embraced it because it was such a good thing, you know. Because it was it was a good thing, you know. But so many people were okay with it and trying to make something of it, improve it, make it better, make it faster, make it longer, whatever. You know what I mean? So yeah, it did work. We were actually happy that it was so readily available for us. You know?
Yeah. Well. So would you agree then that a celebration over a period of time, it's only a matter of time before that becomes a part of your culture because you do it for so long? It's not like an event that you do for 10 years and you stop. I mean, we've been doing it for so long. We've done it for at least
40 years.
40 years is a long time. If you do anything for 40 years, I think it becomes cultural. And the premise of starting it was never really celebrating history, but it was a creation of an event of entertainment to satisfy our tourism product. And I think people are mixing up the idea of what Pirates Week is actually about.
Party.
It's exactly what it is, and an opportunity to improve our tourism product. No different like the Piers. To improve our tourism product, and this is one entertainment. It's almost like a movie that we show every year to say this is what an event and inspire you, like a play, and it becomes something that we like and we grew up on as like the Nutcracker. There's some families go every year we're going to go watch the Nutcracker for Christmas because it becomes something celebratory around that season. And Pirates Week has become that for me. I don't think that I could know that Pirates Week was gone. I would be really upset. And I know that some people saying that we shouldn't have it. If Pirates Week is gone, my generation, I think you would have a backlash saying, "What do you mean you're taking away Pirates Week?" So I think we're looking at it from only one angle. I understand and I respect that some people think that or feel that the actions around Pirates Week may sell a negative persona or picture, but depends on how you want to look at it. And it's always in the eyes of the beholder, because I don't see or I don't feel the negativity of it. I see a play of entertainment. Say, for instance, the Civil War in the United States. They celebrate that every year with the gun battles and all that. I don't think everybody thinks of murder and plumage and all that kind of stuff. I think it's a memory and a way to say, okay, that was a past history. Remembering it, what's the values of it, and all this kind of thing. So I'm not sure.
Even in Tampa, I mean, this is where the idea came from, is Tampa has Gasparilla, and that happens in February. And that's because the rest of North America is cold, freezing. And so when you got Daytona, bike week. That's all happening around the first quarter of the year and so forth. It's warmer weather. Just like us, they needed a tourism product. It's a big masquerade party. Everybody wants an excuse to dress up and be somebody else that they're not. And that's really what it is. You know, we all live in these skins. And sometimes you just want to escape. And everyone has a different, I tell you the truth, I don't care who you are. You see it more so today, Mr. Clive, than we did, and even you did before me, than ever before through social media. People have pseudonyms. They call themselves all kind of different things online. They're anonymous, and they express themselves in that way. This is just one way of being a masquerading party. Escape your normalcy. Escape something that you cannot do or be in real life. It's not, I don't think it's giving grandeur or even gravitas to the raping and the pillaging of all of it, but it's just escaping. Escapism. That's just my thought.
You know, when we arrived here, in the what is this? Oh, yeah. When we got here, this island just seemed to us to be ready for something like the trade winds, a little more partying and so on, because it all just seemed like it was very low key, and you know, and for all intents and purposes, nobody seemed like they were doing anything about it. When the trade winds got here, we said, well, we're gonna party as much as we can here because this place is beautiful. It was sorry, it was lively. It was it needed something. It needed a little boost thing, something in it.
Yeah, because Caymanians are reserved in their nature. So I can see when you're coming in, you go in, Caymanians are well proper suited in their culture and behavior, and because we come from a Christian foundation, and that reservation was probably the attitude and that spark that you brought was something a lot of people going, I can't wait to do a little bit of party, and you know what I mean, I want to get out of my straight and narrow that I have to be all the time, because that's what one of the things you were taught. I remember you hear about parents say, I know one thing you couldn't get away with that when I was growing up, because we were taught to stay in line and be structured. It was almost like an army, like you're going to war all the time. You were expected to be straight and narrow, and human beings by its nature need to let go, and that's why music is such a powerful thing. And I think that what you did, and those members who were with you did, was allowed us to feel a little bit free in respect to this celebration. And it was an art. It's a show. It's not. I don't think it's. I really think it's in the eyes of the beholder of what Parks Week stands for. I tell you what, I am 38 years old. Actually, shoot, I'm 39. No, I'm 38. I'm still 38. Yes, I'm 38 years old. And for me,
please show more old age than us.
for me, it stands a lot for something. And I know that my peers, from my generation, I remember that we always looked forward to Parks Week. We never went out there going, oh my goodness, these pirates are killing people, or the army people are killing people. And I don't think of the whole grab the governor and think about what that means. Now, for the seniors before us, maybe it affects them psychologically different, because they're more attached to the history of the past, of what happened and what transpired, and the fact that slavery was something very serious, that the British did some pretty rough things to us as Caribbean islands, and as exported human assets by way of slaves. So I know that a lot of people are attached to that history, but we're not. And I don't think we should hold on to that burden, because holding on to the burden of that negativity doesn't help. If you have a problem between you and I, and you did me something, if I forever hold on to that, we can never have a relationship together. So
we can't go further.
We can't go further. So I'm quite glad that my generation and below don't remember. By all means, I'm not saying that we should forget, but it's not at the forefront of our memories, so we can constantly have that negativity. Because to be honest with you, if my generation were as educated in respect to the history of our past, there would still be a lot of resentment, say, for instance, to the English. And I don't think that we need resentment. What we need is togetherness in our society. So yet there is a level of benefit for forgetting some of that past. And I don't think that Parks Week represents a lot of the negativity that is being perceived by some. I understand their concern, and I understand that for some it's a memory. But for others, and I would dare say more than 50% of our society don't see it as a memory of a negative time. I don't know if anybody else agrees.
No, see, one of the things that an offshoot of Tradewinds landing here was directly in part of the steel band movement.
Yes,
because right away Earl came by because he came by following Tradewinds and following just the Tradewinds thing, and he decided he wanted to come here, stay, set up steel pan, and teach the kids. The most important thing for him was to teach the kids, because you know how easy it is for kids to stray. You know, if they don't have something to do, if they don't have some kind of activity, you know. So the steel pan was just like, oh, look at that, that's nice. Let me see how do you play that? Can I do it? Where did it come from? What is this? You know, because it wasn't really a Trinidad and a Caymanian thing. It's a Trinidad thing that we exported to all over the world. Blah 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 blah. You know. So when this happened now, when we got Earl up here to come in and teach and show people to make drums for them, teach them how to play it, and also, as far as I'm concerned, the most important thing is to teach the young females, girls, you know, because they didn't, you wouldn't see them normally seeking out a steel pan, you know. So to encourage them and get them started, and they, like I see when I see Earl doing his thing now, I see girls like the flock. As a matter of fact, I think he has more girls
now today.
There's more girls in the band than boys.
Yeah, and I think that is very good for the nation as a whole.
If I can say something, because you spoke about Tradewinds.
No, I just got his card here.
Oh, okay.
I carry it with me.
Okay.
If I can add another
I
element.
support him as much as I can.
Because one would say, probably if you go back in our history, and I don't want to take up the whole show talking about Pirates Week, but it sparked something that I think many people want to speak about, right? But if you go back in our history, like you said, a lot of the soca flavor came from the Trinidadian zone, if I dare say, right? But I think why it exploded in the rest of the Caribbean is because soca music comes from a inherent feeling within us as Africans, if you get what I'm trying to say.
Oh, yeah.
Because majority of the Caribbean was occupied by former slaves, mostly dark-colored skin, and obviously the mixture of the British, because the British had to, the percentage was like 10% to 90%. So it was majority slaves. And if you know Africans, they are very musical people. They got a vibe within them. They're born with that vibe of the drums and the congos and stuff like that. So it just so happened that Trinidad, being one of the slave-inhabited islands, which the British and the Spanish had taken over, with the freedom of slavery, you were one of the first Caribbean islands to spark that flavor within Black African people, that we then became Caribbean people, and you spread what was already naturally in us. So for a person to say it's not cultural, the reason why we like Caribbean and soca music, because it was already in our vibe, it was already in our system, that we came from a vibration of Africans. So I embrace soca music. I love it. I think that unlike, say, for instance, classical music or what have you, it's in our nature as former African slaves. Or, I mean, today I wouldn't necessarily call myself an African slave. I think we've been, I wouldn't even want to use the word dilute, but we've been
descendant of,
right? And it's a part of us. I think it's in our genetics to even love that kind of rhythm and drumming and high pitches. So I would fight that argument in any open court to say it is a part of our cultural being. I don't know.
If I may, and you all can correct me if I'm wrong. I know some of my coolie friends are probably going to go, all right, good. But we got to realize, too, that why this is my opinion, and you correct me where I go wrong. There's a distinct difference between calypso and soca. And soca is the party aspect of it. Calypso was created as in my opinion, almost the first rap. It was the first political way of satire. It was talking about the elements that there was in a way of being easy passing across. That's calypso. Soca then changed it to more of a party vibe. But bear this in mind. Why soca is so beautiful and so unique is not only because it was grounded with African roots, You got to couple that along with the East Indian influence as well. Yes. Because when you hear that steel pan, it is distinct. And it's distinct because of the Kool-Aid and the mixing of that beautiful culture. And you got to realize when you walk and you go to Trinidad, tell me if I'm wrong, it is a myriad of different feelings, culture, vibes.
Yes.
All talking about a melting pot. Well, that's a true melting pot. And because of that, I submit to you, that is why soca, I don't care if you're from Russia, Red Square, Russia. Soca will get into your vibe and your bunkie will start moving. That's just what it is. It's a beauty. You see, to me, that's why.
Is that a Cayman word?
Bunkie. That's a West Bay one too. But the thing with it is, and I submit this to you, that is the reason why that life is so beautiful. When you create and you break down barriers and you come together, what beautiful music we can make.
Yes.
That's my statement for the morning.
Mr. Clive, thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. It means a lot because to get it from a different perspective rather than just us young people, and then I include Wood in this conversation. but because a very respected individual called in and said, it's not a part of our culture. And I love that man that called in. I'm not going to say his name. I don't want to think that I'm against him in any way. I love him very much and I respect him, but I'm not afraid to challenge his opinion. And that's what I want to do. And I want to see whether my opinion is shared with other people. And I think that there's a lot of people who would challenge that position. And that's why I don't think what we're having now with the lack of attention to Pirates Week today has anything to do with people wanting it to die. I think it's because of the structured and organization of it. And I don't want to accuse anybody of not doing it right. But I think also you got to remember the Pirates Week Committee can only do what they can do with the budget that they have. And I think that we are shying away, maybe from a government perspective, on the priority of Pirates Week. At the end of the day, when we fight and talk about politics and all that, we're still human beings. We still need joy. We still need entertainment. We still need to, as all of the serious, I know some days people say, oh, goodness, more politics again. Every day is just serious stress. And we as human beings try to find entertainment to get away. This is one of them. And we got to remember the importance of social events like this to allow us to go, you know what? It's still okay to be happy.
That's right.
And for me, if I was the government, I would make sure that this Pirates Week celebration is booming more than it's ever done before. Not only that, but our tourism product has increased. What is it that we're offering? If we don't offer Pirates Week as a celebration, regardless if you like it or not, what do we offer in respect to entertainment other than the sand and the sea, which is beautiful, don't get me wrong, but it's not something that vibes you. It's a silent experience, like looking at the sunset and you say, oh my God, this is life and this is the world. But there is the other part of an experience like energy and vibration and feel, which human beings love. And I can tell you what, if you ask the regular tourists about their experience, if you have a good Pirates Week gear, oh my goodness, man, they'll never forget it. So, and not only that, not only the tourists, but me as a local, I work all year round. And this is 1 week I go, you know what, boss? I'm going to give you about 75% of my energy this year, this week, because I'm in a party mood and I want to get a little happiness. And then, boom, you use all your energy, you're tired now, and say, boy, that week was a good week, back to focus on life. And I think we need that ventilation because if human beings are like balloons, you can only take so much pressure before you pop.
Yeah.
And in celebrations like this is that time when the balloon just goes and then let go a little bit of air and allow you to continue on a little bit further because the pressure going to build up and build up again. And I tell you what, there's a lot of pressure for Caymanians out there. The cost of living alone will make you pop. Anyway, that being said, Mr. Clive, thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate it.
Happy to be here.
Thank you for appeasing me. Thank you very much. I know I drug you on a couple of occasions, but thank you very much. And I travel with Earl's card, to be honest with you, because I tell people I like you. I like to support a local artist as well. If anyone want to get in contact with Earl up here, number is 916-5676. Just want to let you all know. Here's this one that came in before we end this break. Yes. We got to go to this break. It says, Mr. Woody, are you... And they repeat, so I'll just go down at the bottom. Good morning. Mr. Woody, are you saying that it is okay to take part of a violent and sinful past just for the sake of having fun? Could we not celebrate history, quote unquote, by dressing up in thatch hats and sorted out like fishermen, or even colonial style like non-Caymanians of the old, and still party? Can we not find another theme that does not, in some part, dignify the darkness of history? Well, I think...
Well, if that's the case, then I don't want the Queen's soldiers dressing up in Georgetown at all, because they used to kill us too. If that's the case, if you want to eliminate all memories of it, don't make the Queen soldiers march, period. So when the governor comes in and gets sworn in, I don't want them marching. I don't want them firing the 21-gun salute. Well, that reminds me of when they used to use us as slaves. If you want to get technical about it and you want to be so petty about this thing, well, then let's eliminate all the memories of it.
That's why they took away his feathered hat.
Come on, man. I think I'm sorry, and by all means, I'm expected to keep my composure, but that's silly, man. It is not a negative thing for me.
Well,
so if you want to speak on your behalf, speak on your behalf. My generation don't see it that way.
Look what we just celebrated on the 31st of October. Now, if one wants to go back to pagan times and everything else of that nature, well, don't participate, and you all say the same things about Halloween. Those are the things. If you're talking about pagan rituals and if you're talking about not so bright paths and whatnot, well, let's just pull the layers back of all of these things.
Here's what I'm going to do before we go to the break. All those younger people who are listening, and I don't want this to be a young and old thing, right? Anybody 45 and younger, tell me if you think, and call into the show or send a message. Do you think Pirates Week is a negative thing and it promotes negative, sinful things? Call in. If that generation and below believes so, then I'll change my position. So if anybody who is listening, who is around that age group, and you think this is not a part of your culture and you don't like it, call in and tell me. All right, that being said, we can go to the break now.
The opinions expressed by Cayman Crosstalk, its hosts, callers, or guests are not those of Hurley's Media or its sponsors.
Now, from the Cayman 27 News Team, here are your latest news headlines, brought to you by the Cayman Pharmacy Group, with West Bay Pharmacy, Savannah Pharmacy, and Professional Pharmacy. The Cayman Pharmacy Group has a location for you just around the corner. Visit them today. Now, here's your news headlines.
More discussions with the UK on tax information. What's up, everyone? I'm Doug Dodds. Here's today's top stories from the Cayman 27 newsroom. Cayman's UK Representative Eric Bush and the head of the United Kingdom's crime agency held discussions in London on Wednesday following an agreement between the two nations to resume working together on exchanging tax information. An initial agreement was put on hold by the Premier, Alder McLaughlin, after the UK Parliament voted to impose public beneficial ownership registries on overseas territories. Deputy Governor Franz Manderson vows quick action from the civil service to address Auditor General Sue Winspear's concerns of slow progress in implementing recommendations from the Public Accounts Committee. Now, if you remember, Winspear particularly singled out social welfare program changes as not having been implemented quickly enough. Manderson assured that he will be progressing with a sense of urgency. And finally today, University of College of the Cayman Islands announces Dr. Stacey McAfee as its new president starting January 1st. McAfee joins UCCI from the University of the Pacific in California, where she was Associate Vice President of External Relations, Strategic Partnerships, and Presidential Initiatives. For more news on these stories and others, click on Cayman 27 on KY or watch the news tonight at 6 with a replay at 7. For Hurley's Media, I'm Doug Dodds. Have a great day.
More of Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and live on Cayman 27 is next.
Attention viewers of Cayman 27, the Truth of God television program with Pastor Gino Jennings of the First Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ can now be seen exclusively in the Cayman Islands on this channel every Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. You won't want to miss the dynamic preaching and teachings of Pastor Jennings as he speaks the truth from God's Holy Bible. Tune in every Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. for the 1-hour broadcast of the Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings exclusively on Cayman 27. Cayman Informed.
It's that time of year again for the annual Cayman 27 Parade of Lights, brought to you by Bogle Insurance Brokers Limited. We're calling all boats to join us Saturday, December 1st at Camana Bay as the water comes to life with this year's theme, Christmas Around the World. It's completely free to enter, and there's a chance to win $1,000 and 2 general admission tickets to Kaboo. Or enter just for fun. Private and commercial boats are welcome. For more information and to register your boat, click on cayman27.ky.
Dynafroze, Dragon's Revenge. One day, 4 boys from the future traveled back millions of years through time.
Once upon a time, deep under the sea, there lived a kind and clever little turtle named Tula.
Citizens of Lotus Valley, the hour is upon us. Our way of life is being dramatically threatened. You, the Alliance, are the last hope of freedom and the time.
Now, back to Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and simulcast live on Cayman 27.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much for tuning in, letting us be part of your morning and part of your day.
Would it, just before I want to give those callers a chance, right?
Yeah. We got tons of, people, it is blowing up, all right? I just want to let you know, social media is blowing up, Kenny, and also the phone lines.
Quickly, I just got a whole lot of licks just now for the age number. I said 45. So a lot of people saying, Kenny, you can't say 45. You got to say 60 and below.
There you go.
So maybe my age is a little bit too young there in respect to the people who love it.
I was like, Kenneth included me into his bracket. Jeez, I feel so proud.
Let's hear from those people.
Good morning, caller. How are you this morning? Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you very much for holding.
I'm a little older than 60, but I still have something to say. When we came here 42 years ago, that was a social activity to meet people on the island. That was one of the only places that we could get together and socialize with the Caymanians, with people from all over the world. It included sometimes business. We got to know people, what sort of businesses they were in, that we were able to connect. So as far as I'm concerned, if people feel that it's not the right thing, why don't they come up with something that they like? And then we'll have 2 or more things to celebrate.
Good point.
Well,
and it was somewhere that we could take our children and they could meet other children. It was something fun. They didn't even think what the whole story was about. They just thought this was fun. We would see fireworks. We'd get to meet other people. And it was just a really good time. It's gotten very big now, but it's still what it is. And let's enjoy it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, caller, before you leave, someone wrote, we got honestly, I don't even know how many people submitted this morning, but one that just came right in. And I think it dovetails with what you're saying and what MLA Brian was saying. It says, Pirates Week is great. Now, we celebrate their banishment at the end of the week, and at the same time, our culture that has followed since that time. It is a great mix of both worlds.
You're right. You're right. So the ending story of the play is that, no, we don't accept pirates here.
That's right. We kick you off.
Yeah, that's a good point. Good point.
Exactly. And you know, it was so good to meet everybody from all walks of life. This I'm sure built up some people's businesses, knowing, well, oh, you have a shop here. You know, we might not have known that if we didn't get together in those days to find out what was out there and who was, you know, people that we wanted to get together with later on or whatever. So, you know, there's good and there's bad, and sometimes we have to take the bad with the good. But to me, enjoy yourself. Life is too short. That's what I have to say.
Thank you so much,
Right.
caller.
Thank
We
you very
really
much.
appreciate that input.
Thank you.
When we land on the island, we
Hello, caller.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, caller. How are you? Thank you very much.
Good, and good morning to the listening public. I think some people may be getting the Pirates Week theme and what it was meant to do a little bit out of context. I think that was created for Cayman when it was a slow time, that it would bring more tourists and more revenue here. I don't think it was meant to celebrate the life of a pirate, to say that they were doing a great thing, because raping, pillaging, and destroying is not a good thing. But let's reflect on a great explorer, Christopher Columbus. You didn't want anybody worse than him. What he was doing, you know, he used to, like in Hispaniola, when he went there, the people greeted him with open arms, and he greeted them with a sword, took their children off their breasts and threw them to his dogs, and yet people celebrate Columbus Day because they don't know any better. Ignorance is bliss, you know. But in terms of us here having a Pirates Week, I never knew it to be of a celebration of the life of a pirate. What it is really is an attraction, like a lure to bring tourists here as a theme. And then when they came here, then they got to discover us, the Cayman people, and how we live different, but so much alike in each district, because each district, we come from a similar foundation, every district in this island, but we do things, we got our own twist on things, and put it that way. So they had an opportunity to go around from district to district to see how we did things, how we displayed things, how we cooked, how we lived. So I think it is a great thing. The concept of it is a great thing. I don't think we should, you know, he's too emotionally sensitive and take it out of the box in the wrong context. That's just my take on it. Presently, there are way more important things to be worried about than the theme of Pirates Week. We have Pirates of the Caribbean, actually, out there in terms of the cruise line industries and the way they you know, destroy natural, or encourage the destruction of natural environments, I should say. Not them personally destroying it, but they encourage the destruction of natural environment. And the bill that we could be faced with if we continue to embark on this project about the piers. Now, I'm not against cruise tourism at all. I'm not against a port enhancement, but not in that location and not at that price tag. So I think something like that is the topic of the day, and that's where we should be focusing more of our energies on, and looking at you know, if that goes through, the direct negative ramifications structurally, ecologically, and financially that we will be suffering for negative, no financial gain at all from it. It's actually a great loss all around. I think that should be in the forefront of everyone's mind, to be thinking more of that. But this is Pirates Week, and we are in the theme of pirates, and I think we should just go to each district and celebrate. I personally, I think it's publicized enough. I think we need to use some innovation and rejuvenate the festival, because over the years it has died out a bit, and the nostalgia of it has left us a great bit. So I think we need to plug into what makes us unique and what became our identity. Things that made us Cayman. And as I drive through the island, and especially like in Georgetown and stuff, I watch things bit by bit by bit, just being stripped away and losing our identity. I just, thank God I was just fortunate enough to go on a nice vacation, my wife and myself, and we went to Greece. And I stayed in a 5-star resort where I saw donkeys and mules going through the resort, right? And I asked one of the hotel guests, why is that? He said, forever and a day, that was their right to use that trail. So no matter how many 5-star hotels or resorts are being built there, they have the inherent right to go through the 5-star resort to get to the cliffside to take their donkey and mule tours out. And I thought, wow, that was great. That's the true identity of Santorini. The people here still have a place, but here in Cayman, what do? We erase everything that identifies us as who we are.
Right.
So sad.
Thank you, Colin.
And that's why millions of tourists come to various destinations to experience a different culture, to experience what the people of that country is all about. And that gave me a true understanding of the people of Santorini. They didn't give up their culture and their ways and their grape vineyards because people were coming there. That's why people were coming there. That was the attraction. So I said that to say this. We should not be stripping away our identity or what has become in a lot of years to identify us. Just that's an attraction for what people come here for. I gotta leave now, but just a quick example. Look at the chickens, the wild chickens. We consider them little nuisances and little pests. Watch the tourists with them. They be taking pictures of them. They're looking at every different one. They ask you a million questions about the chickens because it's an attraction. Something simple as that is an attraction. Look at your own self when you go to the other places. What you find as an attraction, right? If people ignore of that place, may ignore. So we have to be cognizant of the fact of what attracts tourism. Tourism equates finance. Finance equates a stable economy and stability for one and all. All right?
Thank you, caller.
Thank you very much, caller. We also got other
I want to give the
callers on the
caller
line.
the opportunity.
Good morning, caller. Are you still there?
Hello.
Hi, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Woody.
Good morning.
I
Thank you very
know
much.
that voice.
Is a bit off your topic today, but just take a minute to remember that today marks 88 years since 1932 devastated Cayman Brac. It was also how we lost our grandfather, Kenneth, your great-grandfather that you look so much alike. So just take a minute to pause and remember what Cayman Brac went through in 1932. And it's also the anniversary of Paloma, which we lost our mother a year after. Guys, have a great day.
Thank you very much, caller.
Love you.
Love you, Image.
All right. We got other callers on line. I'm going to try to get them, but I got a news break as well. Hello, caller?
Yes, Woody?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning.
This is my second try to get you.
Okay.
They could get the White House quicker. I'm not laughing either.
Sorry.
I'm not rich. I'm poor. Hello?
Sorry, go ahead, Miss Georgette.
Yes.
I have a story to tell you, and it's a true story. You know, the two of you, I think, know that where they call Sunset House is where I was born, that property.
Yes, ma'am.
And right next door to me, my best girlfriend, June, lived with her grandmother and her mother and her sister and her brother. Her grandmother told us a story when we were little girls that her mother had told her. When the men, Cayman men of course, would sight a pirate ship, they had already made plans, of course, that there was way in the bush, as we called it, woods, some people say, where the women and children would go. They would usually take with them maybe a little calabash with the top cut off, filled with water and on a string, and maybe a johnny cake or something, because they didn't know how long they might have to stay in the bush. And as soon as the men saw the pirate ship mile away, they would go, well, it would be some men up there with the women too. They would go and tell them, you may come out. And I am so glad that Dr. Steve Maxfield said something this morning that I agreed with. We did not come from pirates. And all this stupidness over the years about certain graves, they're pirate graves. Pirates, where did they have time to go and dig and make graves? They would kill each other. They raped women. They stole the ships from other countries. They were nothing but a bunch of marauders and killers. And they are the people that we spend money to celebrate. I just have this to say. We should be ashamed of ourselves. I think it was the second Pirates Week when they had the floats. My oldest daughter said to me, Mommy, the floats are so beautiful with the little children. Please go out and take a look. And I did go out and take a look. And the floats were beautiful in those days on the long wagons or sort of trailers passing up and down. But that was one time. But when I went the second time, some sights that these eyes, and my eyes were young those days, not like they are now. My sight is very limited. I saw some things. I said, Georgia, I don't want to stay out here. And many other people had that same idea. Pirates Week, I call it nothing but a total disgrace. And those who agree about us coming from pirates, well, I don't know where their brains are. And if it offends, I have no apologies to make. And I thank you, Mr. Woody, for giving me all this time to run up my mouth. And God bless you. And you too, MLA Kenneth, you and your wife and your two little girls. And if you want your two little girls to grow up believing that we came from pirates, that is your decision, not mine. But I ask God to bless all of you, and not just you people, and I think you have other guests too with it, but all of the people on our three islands. And this thing with the guns, and guns have killed some of our people, I think I've said a bit too much, but I thank you most sincerely. God bless.
Thank you, Miss Georgette. I know we have to go to a break, and when we get back, I'll have a little something to say. Nothing too much, but thank you so much, Georgette, for your input. Okay.
More of Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and live on Cayman 27 is next.
We're not just the most reliable energy service in the Caribbean. Whether it's for your entertainment, lighting a path to your future, or making sure that you and your family are secure. We're there for you when it matters most. Your safety and our reliability are our top priority. We are committed to remaining the #1 utility service in the Caribbean. We are CUC.
Attention viewers of Cayman 27, the Truth of God television program with Pastor Gino Jennings of the First Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ can now be seen exclusively in the Cayman Islands on this channel every Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. You won't want to miss the dynamic preaching and teachings of Pastor Jennings as he speaks the truth from God's Holy Bible. Tune in every Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. for the 1-hour broadcast of the Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings exclusively on Cayman 27. Cayman Informed.
Champion House Restaurant, serving Cayman for over 30 years. Start your day off right with our breakfast, fruits, pastries, hot cereals, entree, and so much more. Stop by for lunch. Our buffet offers salad, soup, entrees, and desserts. Check out our website for details on our new dinner menu. And don't forget about catering. We can customize any menu to suit your needs. Champion House Restaurant, where the islanders dine.
A timely response. That matters. Owning your own home. That matters. Supporting our community. That matters. When your child smiles, that matters. Good encounters, great experiences. It matters at Cayman National.
And life stage. For example, women over 50 may need to increase their servings as their calcium requirements increase. As always, get support and consult your doctor before making large-scale diet changes. For more public health alerts and updates, visit hsa.ky/public_health.
Now, from the Cayman 27 News Team, here are your latest news headlines, brought to you by the Cayman Pharmacy Group, with West Bay Pharmacy, Savannah Pharmacy, and Professional Pharmacy. The Cayman Pharmacy Group has a location for you just around the corner. Visit them today. Now, here's your news headlines. More discussions with the UK on tax information. What's up, everyone? I'm Doug Dodds. Here's today's top stories from the Cayman 27 newsroom. Cayman's UK Representative Eric Bush and the head of the United Kingdom's crime agency held discussions in London on Wednesday following an agreement between the two nations to resume working together on exchanging tax information. An initial agreement was put on hold by the Premier, Alder McLaughlin, after the UK Parliament voted to impose public beneficial ownership registries on overseas territories. Deputy Governor Franz Manderson vows quick action from the civil service to address Auditor General Sue Winspear's concerns of slow progress in implementing recommendations from the Public Accounts Committee. Now, if you remember, Winspear particularly singled out social welfare program changes as not having been implemented quickly enough. Manderson assured that he will be progressing with a sense of urgency. And finally today, University of College of the Cayman Islands announces Dr. Stacey McAfee as its new president starting January 1st. McAfee joins UCCI from the University of the Pacific in California, where she was Associate Vice President of External Relations, Strategic Partnerships, and Presidential Initiatives. For more news on these stories and others, click on Cayman 27 on KY or watch the news tonight at 6 with a replay at 7. For Hurley's Media, I'm Doug Dodds. Have a great day.
Be a part of the conversation on Cayman Crosstalk by calling the Superior Auto Hotline, 233-1019, or message us on the Cayman Crosstalk Facebook page. Now, back to Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and simulcast live on Cayman 27.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Thursday to all of you. We have Thunderous Thursdays, and that's with MLA Kenneth Bryan. And Emily, Brian, you got an earful just now.
It's okay.
Both of us did.
I think the earful was definitely worth it. What we just witnessed, and I want to say, Miss Georgia, I love you very much, and thank you so much for giving your view of the perspective of Pirates Week, because it's important to see the different sides. I mean, this is the best way to find solutions to issues, to find all views. So we just got an intimate feel as to what some feel within their hearts about this topic. And that's an emotional thing for her. And I get it and I understand it. all I'm suggesting is that there's a large amount of people within the Cayman Islands who don't have that emotional connection from that standpoint. And events are perceived based on the eyes of the beholder. She has an emotional connection to the visuals of what she understands happens on the show, on the Pirates Week event. For me, I don't remember or have those sensitive events where my grandfather or my grandmother sat with me and explained that to me. So it doesn't negatively affect me in that way. And I would also want to say that I don't think the intent of the creation of the show was to let's remind everybody of how terrible Pirates was and what they used to do. From a perspective of creation, it's some sort of act or play that people go, I want to watch this. And again, the one very important point that came up before she called in was the notion that at the end of the act, the actual pirates are captured and then locked up. So actually, if you follow the story, it becomes a positive one. And we should be excited by the fact that we won something that was negative by some who perceive it as negative. And it was negative. I just am not emotionally connected to it because it's not so intimate to me. But she's 100% right. What they did was wrong. But the confusion is whether we're celebrating the wrong parts of it rather than remembering or rather than creating an act where people are entertained by and then connecting the other parts to it. Because, say, for instance, am I supposed to suggest to all the Georgetowners who have their stalls out there, who look forward to Pirates Week, whereby they sell their food and the like, and they make money, that I'm going to say, you're not going to be able to have that anymore? Somebody sent me a message just now saying if it was up to government, it wouldn't be there, particularly if they have this dock. I don't necessarily, I hope there would never be a day where that is the case where we don't have Pirates Week. I really don't. At least as long as I'm in government, I'm going to continue to fight for Pirates Week. But also making sure that the messaging and what we sell to the world, as well to our locals, is that we're not agreeing with what happened in the past. We do not support the past. And maybe what we can do is attach a day of the reality of what the Cayman Islands went through with pirates as an educational element to Pirates Week. Well, and then change the narrative as to winning the battle over pirates. I'm not sure, but I understand the concept, but I don't think that should be a reason to kill the whole event. It's something that's become cultural for many people.
If I may, and I think you kind of touched on it. I think people are losing the whole narrative of the story.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to break it down of how I see it and how it was portrayed. One is a marketing tool and gimmick. Let's just put it that way. But no one at any given time, if one was to open their minds and logically think about how it was presented and how, well, I can't say how it's continued to be presented because it's not presented that way any longer. Think about this logically. At no point in time has it ever been portrayed that they founded the Cayman Islands and we came from them.
That's true.
They came here. The locals were here. Now let's think of this concept, and this is where it's being lost. The islanders were here. We were living. We were enjoying ourselves. We were living the good life that is Caymanian. That's hence the reason why you have the Heritage Days, highlighting the love and the life and the heritage of each district as they remember it.
Yes.
Food, art, culture, colloquialism, vernacular, games, whatever it is, to make them. They came here and found us during a week. Now, listen to this concept. People are living here. Pirates come in on a boat. Obviously, they storm the shores. They capture our police and our government. Hold it for a whole entire week. They go from district to district. And what we end up doing at the very end of it, we as a people, good overcomes evil, captures them and kicks them off the island until next year. Which means that after they're kicked off, we go back to being the Christian, beautiful people that we should be. That's where the story is being lost. It is, if you want to look at it, at no given point, I want people to tell me where the narrative came that is how we were founded. The narrative completely is 180 degrees from there, in my opinion. They came, we captured them, we kicked them off, Kenneth. They went from village to village, district to district, enjoying the heritage days. And we kicked them off. And so we went back to being Caymanian after that.
Well, I think you summed it up perfectly, Woody. And I think most people feel that way. But I want those who feel the same way as Dr. McField and Miss Georgette to understand, we understand the feel and the pain that you and your generation went through. We respect it. And we're not celebrating that pain. This is more a show, a time to use a negative time or a negative event and turn it into a positive. And that's a simple, that's the narrative of my life. I try to take all the negatives and turn it into a positive. So trust me when I say this, for those who feel that way, we're not trying to celebrate the pain. Trust me, that's not what the intent is. So know in your heart that that's not what we're trying to do. Anyway, I think that's a lot of emotions for Pirates Week. Everybody who is listening, remember to go down to Georgetown Heritage today. There's a lot of good Georgetown cooks who are out there selling some good, yummy Caymanian food. Please go out there and give them the support. As many of these people have been cooking all night long just to give you some good old Caymanian tasting food. So come out there in Georgetown. I will be out there myself today with some of my my people, and we're going to be enjoying some good old food. At least go fatten up your belly. That's a good little bit.
More of Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and live on Cayman 27 is next.
Does this?
Caymanian owned and operated since 1967. Paramount Carpets is a full-service operation beginning with material selection to the installation of finished products, as well as providing maintenance, service, and takes great pride in the quality of their work, making every effort to exceed customer expectations. Contact us today at 345-949-5000 or visit us at 317 Industrial Park, North Sound Road. Paramount Carpets. We do a whole lot more than just cover your floor.
I'm John Barry, and this is Songs and Stories. I believe in every song there's a story waiting to be told, and in every story there's a song waiting to be sung. Each week I'll have a friend stop by who will share great songs and personal stories in a unique setting that have been part of their life and career. So sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Have you had your Tortuga moment today? Come by Tortuga Fine Wine and Spirits for all your liquor needs. And taste the world-famous Tortuga rum and rum cake. Always delicious and baked fresh daily in the captivating Cayman Islands. With ongoing renovations at the airport, we invite you to shop our stores and buy before you fly. Relive the Cayman Islands in every bite.
Or message us on the Cayman Crosstalk Facebook page. Now, back to Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and simulcast live on Cayman 27.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got to do a little live read right now. It says, ahoy, mateys. Get your wallets out and start checking off those to-do lists right before Pirates Week. You can take a trip down to Ace and spend $50. If you do, they will give you a complimentary general ticket, admission ticket to AI Rentals. Waterfront Sound Invasion happening Friday, November the 9th. This Friday, ladies and gentlemen. So you got to go down to Ace right now and spend $50. You can find out more in-store or simply search Ace Cayman 345 on Facebook. That is Ace 345 on Facebook. Ace is located on 11 Ashko Street off Godfrey Nixon Way and is open from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday to Saturday. We hope to see you soon. Remember, if you take a trip down to Ace, simply spend $50. They're going to give you a complimentary general admission ticket to the AI Rentals Waterfront Sound Invasion happening this Friday, November the 9th. Going to go straight to the callers. Hello, caller. How are you this morning?
Morning, Woody. Morning, Kenneth.
Good morning, sir. MLA Brian is not in the studio right now, so I just want to let you know that, sir. He had to step out for a second, take a call.
Yeah, no worries. I was on hold from Paul called, actually. I thought he was still there. Sorry. Obviously, what I think that Pirates Week is a very interesting topic, and I think that, you know, as far back as I can remember from in the 80s, I thought Pirates Week was the best thing since life itself, because we all looked forward to it every year. And me personally never really put much thought into the title Pirates Week, other than we enjoyed seeing a bunch of people dress up like pirates. We enjoyed the landing and, you know, taking the governor and storming the shores and whatever. I thought it was very entertaining, and it was good. You know, I never really put much thought into the history of it all until I got a lot older. But I just want to be fair when we have a conversation about this type of stuff. You know, we must understand that the Cayman Islands was an uninhabited island until Christopher Columbus. And as much as I would not want to emphasize too much about Christopher Columbus, I think he was the biggest pirate of all, and that he don't deserve any spot in history, in my personal opinion, based on his actions and what he'd done to other places that he claimed he discovered. But we must be very clear onto what our heritage really is, Woody, and the facts and the reality is, and it's unfortunate that the Cayman Islands was first founded by pirates, shipwrecked sailors, and runaway war heroes. That is the beginning of people inhabiting Cayman. And then you had other people who came here. That was under the British rule that brought some of their slaves. Cayman never had plantations. Cayman was not a slave destination. So all of the individuals who are here that have slave descendants was brought here by their masters and their owners, and that's how Cayman became, you know, known with peoples, because, you know, and a lot of people don't understand the history that a lot of pirates and sailors came to Cayman to get turtle meat, because turtle meat was one of the only food that they could find that could prevent scurvy, which was a nuisance on sailors when they would sail for long times, and a lot of them died from it, and they realized that turtle had that balance of oils and protein and nutrition that prevented scurvy. And I didn't pull that out of the air. I read that in the history books. I read all of those things are there. Once you look hard enough, you can find it. But and certainly I'm not saying that that's any reason for us to go out and glamorize piracy. And I think that there's a balanced conversation that we could have about Pirates Week. I think that you know, all of the points that everybody's made. I listened to what Paul said about when he visited Greece, and we must embrace the reason why people come to our shores. And we mustn't forget why people come to our shores, because if we try to change the very reason people started coming here, if we develop ourselves to a point where we have moved away from that historical lens, why people love to come to our shores, then I think we've lost sight, and then we'll become counterproductive as to why you know, because at first, as far back as I could remember, it was all about the experience. It was all about people coming here and enjoying the hospitality that Caymanians gave them. It wasn't necessarily solely focused on the money and the dollar. And we must understand that we, the Caymanian people, our traditions and our heritage, we were the tourism product. We were the reason, along with our beautiful diving and environment in our island, and it wasn't spoiled by modern society. Those are the things that created that draw to Cayman. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't develop or we shouldn't have progression, but we should do it in a sustainable, and anything that we do should be a reflection of who we are and where we came from. But you know, I think that there's a lot of different opinions about Pirates Week and what our tourism product is. But the reality really is that our history shows us exactly who we are and where we came from. And your synopsis earlier on how Pirates Week was originated and what the message were, that's exactly how I saw it too, Woody. I don't know if other people our age saw it in a different, would be interesting to hear, But that's how I saw it too, where, we overcame piracy and became a civil society that had a lot of historical morals and views, and we celebrated that all year long. And that any adversities that came to our shores, we combated it and we dealt with it. We won't ever get away from the fact that piracy plays an integral role of our heritage, because it is, and I would dare to say that there's a lot of us that have pirate bloods running through us, because where would the historians write in the memoirs of those pirates who came and converted? Because we all know that people are subjected to change. We saw the war heroes or the war men from Cornwall's War come to the Cayman Islands and integrated in our society because they didn't want to go back to war. The Walters became Watlers, the Bowdens became Bawdens. Those are the facts that are in history. So how is it hard for us to believe that a pirate might have came here, saw some level of civil organization, and decided, look, I don't want to be a pirate anymore. I want to integrate in that society and become one of those people because that's what I want to do. So it wouldn't be hard to say that we have piracy, some of us, in our heritage and our lineage running through our veins. So for us to try to put a block or disregard or say that we never had anything to do with that, I personally don't think that that's the right thing. Now, that don't give us a reason to go to glamorize piracy, and Miss Georgette is 1,000% right. It's not something that we should glamorize, which is why I thought Pirates Week was very interesting, because we represented that portion of piracy. We represented the heritage. We represented our culture. It was a whole variety of things that we did during that week that represented and demonstrated who we were. I'm just glad that we don't have a Christopher Columbus Day. I'm glad that we don't have a Christopher Columbus Week, because the history that I read about that person far exceeds any horrific act that any pirate has ever done. I've never read once where a pirate bashed a young child head against the rocks. I never read that anywhere, but I've read that Christopher Columbus has done that. And he has done many ill acts of humanity because he himself was an evil person. But, we have Discovery Day.
Mr. Rankin, if you don't mind, I got to go and take a break right now.
Sure. That's all. I don't have much more to say. I just think that Pirates Week has gone far to the left. It's not what it used to be. We need to get rid of everybody who's running it. And I have a lot of friends on that board and committee. They need to be removed. They had a lot of years to destroy it the way it is. Having district days and nobody knew about it is unacceptable. That's my personal opinion. Have a good one with it.
All right. Thank you very much. No, sir.
I'm hoping, I know that this Pirates Week discussion has created much emotion and discussion, but it's now consumed the whole show, and I have a mere 52 minutes left, and there were some other things I would hope to try to get in today's discussion before we come to the end of the show. So I politely request that we could kind of move on after this break, okay?
The opinions expressed by Cayman Crosstalk, its hosts, callers, or guests are not those of Hurley's Media or its sponsors.
Here are your latest news headlines from the Cayman 27 News Team on Rooster 101's Cayman Crosstalk. Now, here's the news.
More discussions with the UK on tax information. What's up, everyone? I'm Doug Dodds. Here's today's top stories from the Cayman 27 newsroom. Cayman's UK Representative Eric Bush and the head of the United Kingdom's crime agency held discussions in London on Wednesday following an agreement between the two nations to resume working together on exchanging tax information. An initial agreement was put on hold by the Premier, Alden McLaughlin, after the UK Parliament voted to impose public beneficial ownership registries on overseas territories. Deputy Governor Franz Manderson vows quick action from the civil service to address Auditor General Sue Winspear's concerns of slow progress in implementing recommendations from the Public Accounts Committee. Now, if you remember, Winspear particularly singled out social welfare program changes as not having been implemented quickly enough. Manderson assured that he will be progressing with a sense of urgency. And finally today, University of College of the Cayman Islands announces Dr. Stacy McAfee is its new president starting January 1st. McAfee joins UCCI from the University of the Pacific in California, where she was Associate Vice President of External Relations, Strategic Partnerships, and Presidential Initiatives. For more news on these stories and others, click on Cayman27.ky or watch the news tonight at 6 with a replay at 7. For Hurley's Media, I'm Doug Dodds. Have a great day.
Be a part of the conversation on Cayman Crosstalk by calling the Superior Auto Hotline, 233-1019, or message us on the Cayman Crosstalk Facebook page. Now, back to Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and simulcast live on Cayman 27.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, happy Thursday to all of you. If you'd like to call in and speak with MLA Kenneth Bryan, you can do so, 233-1019, 233-1019. We're simply asking, we're going to shift gears right now, basically for the last hour and a half, and it's still going through on social media, MLA Bryan. People are very engaged. I got 7 WhatsApps, several different people posted online as well, and then the back end of it, I got 4 messages on the private message part of it as well, and it's still coming in, and emails and WhatsApp. So altogether about 15, 16 things that came in about Pirates Week. But I think they're all summed it up as different. I think most of them are saying we're still celebrating piracy.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably a small minority. If I had to do a fair count, probably about 10%. The rest of them are saying that there's not enough money from government that goes into promoting it and to lifting up all of the people that benefit from it. For example, like today, your constituents, mostly your constituents, the Ramoons, all of those ones, the Seymours, all of those ones that are going to be cooking today. In fact, I'm going to go down and look for the Ramoons for their turtle meat. I always do that and some crab as well. So that's just me. That's where I'm going to find lunch today. But all of those ones, there's a direct benefit from all of these things as well. How else are you going to do it? But I will reiterate one more time. Everyone likes the story of good overcoming evil. And I think that's lost. Good overcame evil at the end of the week by banishing the pirates and sending them away and regaining control of this country. And I think that is lost. And remember, during that time, we were highlighting who we are. I think it's a neat story. If it was a play, you would enjoy it. It's a play on a national stage.
Well, I definitely want to move on from this conversation, but I'll say this in wrapping up of it. We cannot discredit the viewpoints of those who don't like it. They are a part of our society. If Miss Georgette or Mr. Matfield or anybody else who feels that it celebrates that, they have to have the opportunity to express their viewpoints, and those viewpoints have to be considered. But I think we've had this conversation a few times in a few years. And it seems to me, without any proper measure or measuring tool or survey, I still think it's fair to say that majority of the people in this country would still support the Pirates Week celebration. Now, whether it's something that needs to go to a referendum, then so be it. I mean, I'm not suggesting that it should, but what I don't like with it is ever to make people feel that have a differing view than me, that their view is going to be disregarded because they have a right to that view no matter what. I'm of this other view. And it's quite like the port, like where I say, I'm not sure about certain things about the port. The government says they are certain, but I wouldn't want them to close off my opinion in respect to my views. So it's something that I respect. I'm not sure if we ever had a national viewpoint on this, and I think most cases the feedback that I get is that people still appreciate and respect the show. I mean, maybe a simple non-scientific survey on the people's thoughts would give an end to this viewpoint. But you always have people who just don't like it.
Well, the thing with it is, if you're looking for a non-scientific survey, it's not unreasonable to say that forums like this will be that test bed.
Yes.
You'll hear unfiltered feelings and sentiments. But I say this with the greatest respect. Dr. McFeel, whom knows I respect him, we have good, wonderful, long lunches. I would say probably longer than lunches. I don't know what you call those ones.
Brunches.
Yes, yeah, exactly. I would probably call her that. He's one of those that I really listen to. And Miss Georgette, she knows how much I respect her. She chastises me right on her kitchen table whenever I go and visit her. But I say this with the greatest of respect. I listen to everyone's voice. But one thing that I heard from both of those individuals is that we're celebrating piracy. And I would say we're not. Because the narrative of the story is that we were here. They came. And we captured them at the end of it. Good overcame evil. We took back control. And we had our Cayman Islands back again. It is not celebrating piracy. In fact, I think it's celebrating good over evil and going back to the greatness that we see in every district Heritage Day. The wonderful cultures of West Bay, Georgetown, Savannah, Bordentown, Northside, East End. That is what is Cayman. And I think that narrative of the story, I can guarantee you, if this was put on at a Hartwell Theater or Drama Society in a small production play, it would probably have rave reviews because good overcame evil. Everyone likes a story like that.
Yeah.
But we're losing that narrative. Yeah. This is a national play on a national stage in front of the largest audience that you will ever have watching a live production.
I agree. But we always got to respect people's views, and I respect them, and I appreciate them. And today was a really good, fruitful conversation. When we get back, I'm going to be discussing about my talks with the governor, because I met with him last week, Wednesday. And also, I want to speak to some of my supporters out there. And I'll tell you what I want to say when we get back from the break.
You teaser.
More of Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and live on Cayman 27 is next.
It's that time of year again for the annual Cayman 27 Parade of Lights, brought to you by Bogle Insurance Brokers Limited. We're calling all boats to join us Saturday, December 1st at Camana Bay as the water comes to life with this year's theme, Christmas Around the World. It's completely free to enter, and there's a chance to win $1,000 and 2 general admission tickets to Kaboom. Or enter just for fun. Private and commercial boats are welcome. For more information and to register your boat, click on cayman27.ky.
The flavor with a beat. Black thing now move up him dancing feet. We dance them flavor with a beat. Holy sauce, yeah, we acting on the street. Young middle age or old, move your feet. When bass if we dance, everybody have to do it.
Grace, feel the vibe, can't you feel it? Grace, delicious, so nutritious. Yes, quality when you taste it. Want affordable, look for the label.
Flavor we are flavor because the spice is flaring. Flavor with a beat, no other brand than near we.
One taste and you know Grace is real.
Some say the time of miracles is past, but we see miracles all around us, every day. Some could not walk. Some could not breathe. Some had lost all hope. But something amazing happened. Something that can't be analyzed or quantified. Something that is more than good medicine. Holy Cross.
For tuning in, letting us be part of your morning and part of your day. MLA Brian, we have a caller online, 233-1019. I think it's pertaining to a subject matter that you took and ran to the finish line, brother. Pirates Week. Do you mind if we take a call?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello, caller.
Yeah, pleasant good morning to you again, Mr. DaCosta.
Good morning,
I was saying about the Pirates Week.
You know, Pirates Week was a thing to bring people to this island. We had very little, and we did not depend on the government to subsidize Pirates Week. In Borden Town, myself, my brother George Powell, Osmond Borden, Crosby Solomon, Barton Solomon, we all got together. We dove coke, we killed coke, and Mr. Ken Hall, he would credit us the alcohol, give it to us on credit, and we would sell it and enjoy ourselves. And we had a committee, and the funds that were raised from Pirates Week, we put aside some for the next year. We donated it to the schools, to the hospital. It was not about being a pirate. It was just a celebration to help people. And people enjoyed it. You know, yesterday in Borden Town, it was so sad. Not even a street dance. One little place in a corner, they were selling little food. Every soul packed up at 6 o'clock and was gone. No activities whatsoever. We need to get back to where we come from and doing something that enjoy. It's not about being a pirate. It was just a celebration. And like you said, at the end of the week, we overcame the pirate and they were sent away. But from the time it had become financially gain to certain people, we didn't went in it for the money. We went into it for the enjoyment of the country, that people had brought tourists from all over the world here in October. I agree some people don't like it, but it was not. I am 69 years old. I enjoy the time when I was a police officer, that afterward that I had to do duty to keep crowd control, but we did it peaceably and respectably. And I wish that we could teach the people about these things, but the majority of people these days, the only thing they're interested in is a snort of cocaine or a stick of ganja or trouble. Anyway, you gentlemen have a good day. That is my little bit for it.
All right, thank you very much, caller.
Well, I am. One thing I'm always glad about is whenever any conversation creates participation from your society, is always good, regardless of whether it's heated or people are disagreeing. Participation in any discussion is the epitome of democracy. So that's good. I'm happy about that. Now it's time to change gears. I want to first start off, before I go into the governor's discussion, is to give thanks to all of those persons out there who continue to support me in my endeavors to be a representative of the people of the Cayman Islands. And you may say to yourself, well, why, particularly out of the blue like this? Is that I didn't recognize how many people have been fighting in my corner and fighting in my corner silently until the past few months, where I hear the narrative of people that I didn't even know who fought for me, went out and did things for me and convinced others. And because you normally know who your supporters are, and they express themselves to you and you see the actions. But of lately, I've been meeting people and I hear the stories of what they did, or where they went to pick somebody up and said, listen, get down there, we got to vote for Kenneth and on election day, or they're going to their next door neighbor saying, Kenneth is the person for the job. And I underestimated how much support people were behind me. And I want to really say thank you, because I'll never be able to say thank you to everybody, because I don't know exactly who supported me. But though I don't know you, don't think that I don't appreciate you. And I love you for it. And I hope I can continue to get your support and make you proud of your decision to vote for me. I'm trying my hardest. I don't believe in giving up, and I'm a fighter. And if there's anything that you think I need to focus on, please feel free to contact me in any platform you can, whether it's here on the radio, whether it's by my mobile, whether it's at my office, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on WhatsApp. I genuinely I know that there could be so much more I could do, but I can promise you this: I'm doing everything I possibly can within the limitations of what I have now, and I want you to imagine what much more I could do if things were a little bit different in respect to my position. But really, thank you so much. And this is not only in Georgetown Central I'm speaking about. I've heard stories of persons from different districts coming to Georgetown to convince their friends or their family to say, listen, we need Kenneth or support Kenneth or what have you. And I really appreciate that, because if you don't understand, for a person to give their most democratic right, or for a person to take time out of their day to push for you and believe in you, I just really want to acknowledge and appreciate that belief in me. It's an honor. I heard a story just yesterday where a person said an example of that support, and they told me what they did, and I got it verified from other people too. And I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't even know this individual. I didn't even know him, but they sat there and they sold their belief. It's like almost like they were believing in Obama. And I was like, you did that for me? I mean, like, what did you feel like? And I really appreciate it, because sometimes you don't really understand what you do to people as representatives when they believe in hope. And that hope, I hope, is not lost, because though things are not exactly how I had hoped them to be, we're still in a reasonably safe jurisdiction, and the economy is good. Yes, it's not the best situation for all Caymanians, but at least we have an economy. And I want those who believe in me to know that I'm on the battlefield and I will not give up. I will not give up no matter what, and I will continue to fight. Sometimes you don't know that there's a fire burning to the left or to the right, and the only how I know that is by you coming and bringing those things to my attention, so I can try to out them or try to find solutions. So I thank you, and continue to support me. Continue to let me know what those issues are. I may not be able to solve every single one of them, but I'm going to give it my best shot, and I'm going to fight really hard to try to do that. So stick with me. We still got loads of future here, and we can do it together. So I just want to say thank you to those, even if I've never spoken to you in my life, because I don't know everybody. But I just want you to know I appreciate it, and I love you, and I thank you so much for it. You were about to say something to me before I go on to the governor?
No, sir.
No, all right. So I had the opportunity to meet with the governor last week, Wednesday. We had a few discussions about a few things, and I must say so far from a personal perspective, this is not about performance, because I can't tell you what his performance is going to be like until some time has passed and we see his initiatives and the things he takes his positions on. We can only gauge his intent based on what he's said by his speeches and his communications with the media and the communications directly with me through our meeting. And so far, it seems to be a person who wants to be involved in our community on a direct level. He recognizes that, we have some challenges going on right now with the UK and some topics in our community. But he's supportive of that and want to make sure that there's a good relationship between the UK and the Cayman Islands. And I appreciate that. I've also expressed to him, in the meeting, I expressed a number of concerns, which is stuff like the district council's law and the Standards of Public Life law not coming into effect, and the concerns about that. And one of the things I said to him, I said, Governor, I'm not sure if you're the person to verify this, but I don't quite understand how we can have a law and it's just not implemented. If it's a law, it's a law until it's changed. It's like saying, for instance, and I said this on a sister station, on a competing station just yesterday or previously, whereby there is a traffic, let's say, for instance, we created a traffic law, and the premier says, I don't like it in its current form. I'm not going to implement it. The fact is, it's not whether you want to implement it or not. 19 legislators, or at the time, I think it was 15.
Wherever it was.
Or whatever the amount is, at that time decided that this is the representation of the masses of people in this country and we want this to be law. You can't just decide to say, oh, I'm not going to implement it now. And I said to him, Governor, you need to give some clarity to this. Because, I mean, by all means, I'm not sure about where the authorities to appeal to in respect to the Premier's behavior. Because I do not agree that the Premier can just simply say, I'm not going to enact the law in its current form. Because what else could he do if that's the decision? Fair enough, you think that the law in its current form is not well. But until you get it changed, until you bring it to Parliament, it has to come into play. Because I couldn't just simply say, well, okay, the traffic law, I should be able to run the red light because I don't like the way it is in its current form. It just doesn't work that way. And these kinds of things, as for a new term legislator, it boggles my mind that these things happen. Like, what do you mean you're not enacting the law? What does that mean? Explain that to me. I wish the Attorney General or anybody else in an authority position can explain how that behavior is allowed. And not only from a perspective of, one, you're supposed to enact the law. You want to change it, fine. Bring it to Parliament, make the amendments, and let's vote on it. Because we all represent the masses of the people. But the other part about it is, for me, is that I think there's a level of strategic politics that is being played with in respect to the district councils. We know that the district councils were agreed and come into law by way of trying to give more accessibility of democracy to the community level. So the district council is supposed to be elected persons in our community to voice the concerns and bring the issues of that constituency to the representative, and the representative go in the legislative assembly and represent those views. So we know the importance of district councils. But within the district councils, there's a number of provisions in there that allow me to do my job. Like, say, for instance, fundraising is one of them. Most would understand that if you're an elected member, you want to do a number of things in your community. And doing things in your community, whether it's parks, whether it's upgrades, or whether it's helping senior citizens with their home projects, or whatever it may be, kids events, whatever, those things take money. And my salary, I cannot suffice to solve these issues. So where do I get the money from to do so? Question is, well, persons will say, well, government should allocate funding for that. Well, the truth is they haven't. The first meeting with Cabinet, 6 weeks in after being elected, I sat down with the whole Cabinet and said, Premier, Deputy Premier, and Cabinet members, I would like you to allocate $500,000 in this budget year to be set aside that I can come and plead a case for access to those funds in the various different amounts. So, say, for instance, I wanted to do a community park in Georgetown Central, and I needed $40,000 to put up a cabana, to put some trees, or to create that environment for the kids. There is a fund there that I can go and submit my reasons to the Cabinet. By all means, money not coming to me, but submit the want and need for it. Once it's justified and the Cabinet can agree that, yes, Kenneth, this can be a good thing, obviously, so I don't have the full approval of it, but they can supervise that if they're worried about the money element. But at least the accessibility to the money would be there. I asked them for that. They didn't do it. They didn't even respond to my request. So there's no monies in their allocations for me to do anything at all in my community. Anything for kids, anything for seniors, anything for the disabled and the elderly. Nothing from a community perspective, no monies at all. In every other jurisdiction across the world, they have these funding allocations for you to do these types of things in your constituencies. So I don't have that. Okay, I said, all right, I lost that battle. I can see that maybe there's a political move not to have me have access to any funds to do anything in my community. What's my next option? So I examined the district council's law. Within the law, it suggests that I can fundraise through my district council and I can go out and beg the community. And I think the community would want to contribute by giving things to you, whether it's funds or labor or lumber or what have you. Because, if you're requesting or soliciting money's worth of anything, it has to be either under a nonprofit or through this district councils. That's the only way I can legally do that, because I can be held to account if I'm begging people for money without accountability. So within the district council's law, there is that provision. So I say, okay, boom. Once the district council's law come into effect, I can go out and raise money. I can go to the community. I can go to say, for instance, one of the big corporate companies and say, listen, do you mind donating $10,000 to my committee so we can do this X, Y, and Z project? Now, because he hasn't, and his government hasn't implemented the district council's law, I can't even raise money on my own. Even though I believe there should be a portion of the taxpayers' money allocated back to the people in order for me to use in order to do things in my event. So 2 options already has been canceled. And I dare say that it's an intentional move to undermine my ability to do things successfully in my constituency because they don't want me to look good. They want me to fail because I'm the biggest adversary for them. Fine. Politics is politics. But what they don't realize is they're hurting the people. And I add to that to say the taxpayers' money, 1/19 of the 100% belongs to the people of Georgetown Central. The people of Georgetown Central they pay their taxes too. And basically what you've said to them is saying, no, I'm not going to give you any money back to do your thing in your constituency. And I even go further than that. The thing that disturbs me the most is that I see certain moves being done, community events happening in other constituencies, other parks being done, other little initiatives or grand gestures in other constituencies. And it just so happened, it just so happened to be that it's in constituencies of government members. I don't see any events, any parks, no initiatives that are happening in members from the opposite side of government. I'm an independent member. Nothing is happening in my constituency. I've been begging for the government to purchase a piece of property. And up to now, I don't know the answer as to whether they're buying the property for a community park.
But you spoke of that at last sitting as well, too.
Yes. And up to now, we don't know. Now, I'm hearing whispers that the government has bought it. But you would think that, okay, I put in a request. I sent an email. They didn't even respond to that. They said, listen, there's a community park here. The property is now up for sale. Can you find the monies to purchase it before we lose it and it's in our area? They wouldn't even have the decency to respond. This is how petty the politics is in this country. Now, I've heard that they purchased the property, but they didn't want to tell me. Why? Because you don't want me to go back and tell my people that, well, boy, I pressured the government into buying it. No, they want to do a grand thing, and I can guarantee you one thing.
There's a plaque.
I can bet you this, that in the next sitting of the House, somebody from the government side is going to get up and say, I'm happy to announce that this government has secured the piece of property in the Georgetown Central area. As to say what? I wasn't asking for it. Well, let's see. You see this, and people say, well, why are you saying all of this, Kenneth? And I know we got to go to a break, right? But because I want you to see the political games that are at play. It's a constant chess game, and it's at the stake of the people's lives. All I want is a park. You want all the credit for it? Fine. Take it. I don't want it. As long as my constituents get what they need. If you want to come out and say, cut the ribbon, fine, I'll go over in the corner and hide. Don't be taking no pictures. Just get it done for my people. Stop hurting my people for politics. And this is the type of thing that constantly happens. Anyway, I know we got to go to break. When we get back, I'll finish talk about what we said with the governor right here on Rooster 101.
And remember, Section 19, proportionality, Kenneth. Proportionality. Bring that to the governor next time you sit down with him.
More of Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and live on Cayman 27 is next.
We believe that every life matters and that we are all connected. One community, one people. We believe in compassion to give dignity to those that society has let down. We strive to conquer fear, and we believe that the power to heal is a gift. This is who we are. This is what we believe. Holy Cross.
Hi, I'm Jordan Telford. I'm the master distiller for Tortuga Rum Company. I'm a born Caymanian, and I'm very proud to say that I'm producing an exceptional quality rum that's completely handmade, start to finish, distilled, bottled, and blended right here in Grand Cayman for Tortuga Rum Company.
It's that time of year again for the annual Cayman 27 Parade of Lights, brought to you by Bogle Insurance Brokers Limited. We're calling all boats to join us Saturday, December 1st at Cayman Bay as the water comes to life with this year's theme, Christmas Around the World. It's completely free to enter, and there's a chance to win $1,000 and 2 general admission tickets to Kaboo. Or enter just for fun. Private and commercial boats are welcome. For more information and to register your boat, click on cayman27.ky.
Is back. Sign up for the Sports Pack today and fuel your passion for football. Sports is life, only on Flow.
Five 233-1019. Or message us on the Cayman Crosstalk Facebook page. Now, back to Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and simulcast live on Cayman 27.
Pardon me. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in. Letting us be part of your morning and part of your day. I got MLA Kenneth Bryan in the studios with us. I'm asking the callers, if you can, if you're calling regarding issues that Mr. Bryan is talking about right now, that'd be fantastic. So that we only got about 15 minutes left. And ladies and gentlemen, I got still one segment of commercials that we need to go through as well. So we want to be crucial to all of that.
Yes, but we'll go ahead and take the caller. I want to respect them. Just hopefully they'll be brief.
Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Mr. Woody. Good morning, Mr. Bryan.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, sir. Something a bit different from what you're discussing, but yesterday on the Radio Cayman, they were talking about search and rescue and all of that kind of thing and what they're planning to get arranged, which is a very good thing, and would just like to say here on Rooster this morning that this month we'll celebrate 40 years since I've been involved in search and rescue and assisting and saving lives around the Cayman Islands. And I have been involved in over 100 search and rescue operations, and a number of people would have disappeared and would never have been found if I wasn't being up and around all hours of the night and day to assist these emergency calls. Every department in the government has relied and called on me for communications and to expedite search and rescue ships and boats to assist people out on the high seas. And it's been among 40 different nationalities, over 100 people from Grand Cayman.
Mr. Scott?
Probably about 20 from Cayman Brac, and
Mr. Scott?
40 different nationalities.
Mr. Scott?
Okay, so you got limited time.
Yes, we do.
So
thank you very much. And you can call in next week. I have Red Ensign group that is scheduled next week, Friday. Call in and talk with it at that time as well. But thank you very much for your time.
I just want to say to
Bryan?
Mr. Scott, thank you so much. And I want everybody to recognize his contributions to our society. He helps us keep us safe. Mr. Scott, thank you so much. Keep up the good hard work, okay?
I'm just going to take this last break so you can have 15 minutes to talk.
No problem.
More of Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and live on Cayman 27 is next.
Fresh fir Christmas trees are on their way to Hurley's. Our containers arrive from the forests of Quebec on November the 24th. These fresh, fragrant balsam firs won't last long. If you plan on having a tree in your home, order yours today. There's a shortage of trees coming to the island this year. Make sure your family has a green Christmas. Order your tree today at hurleys.ky/ordering. Hurley's, get fresh trees with us.
Fresh at Hurley's.
This week on Nashville Insider, find out which of your favorite artists are nominated for the 52nd Annual CMA Awards. Then, Dan and Shay toast to their latest #1 hit, Tequila, and give a big thanks to fans. We chat with the stars of Beautifully Broken. They're on the red carpet for the film's big premiere. And does this face look familiar? We'll talk to funny man Cletus T. Judd as he makes his country music comeback.
Flavor with a beat, black thing now move up him dancing We dance them flavor with a beat. Whole heap of sauce, yeah, we acting on the street. Young middle age or old, move your feet. When bass if we dance, everybody have to do it.
Grace, feel the vibe, can't you feel it? Grace, delicious, so nutritious. Yes, quality when you taste it. Want affordable? Look for the label.
Flavor we are flavor because the spice is flaring. Flavor with a beat, no other brand of the near way.
One taste and you know Grace is real.
Eclipse Hair Design and Day Spa. Discover the difference.
On Rooster 101 and simulcast live on Cayman 27.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much for tuning in, letting us be part of your morning, part of your day. We're with MLA Kenneth Bryan. And MLA, we got about 15 minutes left. The lines are just picking up.
The people need to have their say, so go ahead.
All right. Good morning, caller. Hello. All right. Good morning, caller.
Mr. Woody?
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning.
Very good morning.
Mr. Kenneth.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yes, I love how you talk. Go for it, guys. Go for it. I love you.
Thank you so much,
I
ma'am.
hope your wife don't beat you for that.
Well,
you know who's speaking.
I have a good idea who it is, ma'am.
Well,
and tell Mr. Woody say that he must learn you to dance. I'm the dancing one, but tell him about him and Giovanni.
I hear you.
All right. Okay.
SMD.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay, have a good day. Don't make no one put you down. Go for it. You're a fighter.
Thank you so much,
I
ma'am.
love you.
Love
Thank
you too.
All right. Well,
See, it's calls like that make you get inspired. And I want to say thank you so much to that caller. I really appreciate it. And you're right. I ain't going to back down. But we were highlighting a very important point. And one thing about you're becoming a real scholar in respect to constitutional provisions. And you were highlighting to me in the break about introductions of bills being laws, and disallowance of bills, which is in Section 80 of the Constitution. And as I was saying to the audience before, in my discussions with the governor, is my concern about this lack of introduction of the laws. Now, one thing I'm going to say before I get into this is that one thing I am well aware of is the Honorable Premier and his team or some of them are lawyers themselves. So I slightly doubt that.
But who challenges them?
Nobody, exactly. Well, that I agree. But I don't think the Premier would ever do something that is unlawful. That I would give to him. But even if it's not unlawful now, the lack of inaction of legislation, one would say it's definitely morally incorrect. So I'm going to review, and hopefully by next week, Thursday, I can be able to have a position in respect to this behavior of not enacting a law that's already there. And in the section, for those of you who may want to go ahead and look into it yourselves and have your own analysis, which is always a good thing, a good little homework for yourself and your own self-understanding, is Section 80 of our Constitution that talks about the disallowance of laws, which I infer, I can't say with confidence, but I believe is exactly what we were discussing in respect to the Premier not enacting the current law. So you're disallowing it. So maybe the coverage of whether or not that should be done will fall underneath that, and I'll look into that.
The only person can disallow a law is the governor.
Yeah.
Or the Queen.
So
the governor.
I'm going to be reading that. I want to make sure that I am correct in my understanding and potentially even get some legal advice in respect to that.
Do you have a penal code in front of you?
Actually, no.
And plus, you don't
have it in my truck. Though.
You don't have your glasses, so I'll read it to your hearing as well.
Yes.
I also want you to jot down in your notation, sir, and speaking with the governor, maybe you can ask the Attorney General as well, his interpretation of not doing that. I'm going to read to your hearing, sir, 121 of the Penal Code, 2017 revision. The subtitle is called Disobedience of Lawful Duty. A person who willfully disobeys any law by doing any act which such law forbids, or by omitting to do any act which such law requires to be done, and which concerns the public or any part of the public commits an offense, and unless the law provides some other penalty, is liable to imprisonment for 2 years. Okay?
So you're suggesting then, let me see if I get that correctly, that if he doesn't have a legal way through the Constitution not to implement the current district council's law, that he would be breaking the law?
That's my interpretation, because the Constitution is the ultimate law of the land. Everything else is supplementary. is secondary.
You know what this reminds me of? And sorry to laugh about it, but is that I was in a finance committee or a committee that dealt with some past allocations for funding when I was not in Parliament yet, in the Legislative Assembly yet. In it, the chairman said that that they're not in they're not breaking the law. They're just not in what is the terminology he used? They're when you're not in. Oh my goodness, it's a financial term. Updated with the law. Oh my goodness, that really I got to remember what that means. What I said, but what it basically said to me is you were breaking the law, because I asked him on the floor, love. I said, well, what does that mean? You're not in. Oh.
Breach.
Not breaching of the law there. When you're not, from an accounting perspective, if you're not up to par with the current standings of the law, it'll come to me in a minute, but it reminds me of that. And then afterwards, I asked the Honorable Juliana O'Connor Conley, who's an attorney, I said, but that sounds to me that they're breaking the law. She said off the record, she said, Kenneth, that's exactly what it is, but it's just one of those things that are not nobody's challenging it, oh my goodness, I really wish I could remember that. But anyway, it's pointless for me to try to waste the time trying to remember it unless it comes to me.
Compliance?
Compliance. That's exactly right. The law, we're not in compliance with the law. And I go, well, if you're not in compliance with the law, then you're breaking the law. And this was, and I'm not picking on the Honorable Roy McTaggart, because I think he's doing a good job in respect to his chairmanship with Finance Committee and stuff like that. But there was something that came up within Finance Committee, and they said, they weren't in compliance. I was like, well, in all due respect, Mr. Chairman, if you're not in compliance with the law, then you're breaking the law. And then he suggested and said, well, no, we're not breaking the law. We're just not in compliance. I was like, well, what's the difference? Please give me the difference. And they wouldn't answer. Like on the floor of the House, I have the hands out, but nobody answered. I was like, can somebody answer this for me, please? And I'm there as a newcomer on the floor of the House going, what does non-compliance mean? Does that mean we're breaking the law? And everybody just goes quiet and just moves on like it's nothing. I go, wow, I can't believe this type of stuff happens in our legislative assembly. It blows my mind.
I guarantee you, if I'm flying down Spot Street doing 75 miles an hour, and I go to the justice and go, Justice Grace, ma'am, I was non-compliance. Can I go free? Boom. $250 ticket.
Yeah, but
license endorsed.
But you see, there's this
stop your stupidness
stigma of criminality. They call it one other thing. Like that's like the gambling law. Oh, we're gonna call it raffling and call the other one gambling. It's the same thing. If you're not compliant, you're breaking the law. You can't. Folks. Sometimes I know that we all are not as informed about what transpires in the Legislative Assembly. But if you want better governance, if you want better leadership, these types of things that happen behind closed doors, and I wouldn't even say behind closed doors, in the Legislative Assembly that we don't pay close attention to, these little small things is what break down true democracy and true representation and holding people to account. Because I was blown away that nobody else said anything. I was like, how can you say you're not compliant with the law? And matter of fact, if there's anybody out there from an accounting fraternity or an authority that can call in this show, even if I'm not here, another day when the good host Woody DeCosta is in, and explain what non-compliant mean to this country, but yet still we have the Minister of Finance saying that we're just not compliant. You're basically admitting that you're breaking the law, and then nobody wants to say anything about it. Woody, times need to change.
Write down 119 as well, too, the penal code. I want you to learn them.
Well, I tell you one. There's one I want you to look into, but I don't think Cayman is ready for that discussion. But if you get if you get a chance, I want you to look at 144 of the Penal Code and the note asterisk that's for it, and you tell me what you come back with. Anyway, that being said, I know that. How far are we now? 5 minutes to go.
5 minutes out.
Before I go, I want to remind everybody, today is Georgetown Heritage Day. A lot of good, yummy food and cultural presentations will be out there. I want you to come out. I want you to take your lunch break today and go down there and get some good old yummy food. And make sure you get there before everybody else. This is the week where not only is it an opportunity for some people in Georgetown to get the opportunity to make an extra buck by these stalls, but it's also a good chance to get some good old homegrown Cayman cooked food. I know most times when we're in our offices and the like, we normally go to, other restaurants, and there's not as many Cayman restaurants as we once had. So take this week, make it be special. Make this lunch be your special. This, I'm going to go get some good old turtle meat or conch or whatever it is that they may be offering, and enjoy it, because not only are you enjoying some good food, but you're stimulating Georgetown's economy. And a lot of my voters and my supporters and the people, and not only mine, actually, Joey, people from Joey's constituency, from Barbara's constituency, from David's constituency, from the whole of Georgetown. This is, the Heritage Day is not for Georgetown Central, it's for Georgetown as a total. And there's 7 members who are part of it, including the Honorable Premier. So you might even get to see one or two of the representatives might show up, because I'm going to go be that. I'm going to go down there after I have a meeting at 10:30. Once that is finished, I'm hoping to be there around by 12, sit down, enjoy my food with my people. Come on down and take your lunch break with us today and have a good little time. You might even hear a little bit of calypso and soca for those who still love it. A little bit of party, that's right. So come down, enjoy some food, and let your energy and your spirit be one of happiness. The point of these types of celebrations is to, forget about all the stress. I know sometimes that's hard, because as soon as you leave that environment, you got to go back to it. But even if it's just for an hour, come and smile and enjoy some food and make your belly hungry and make your belly happy. But besides that, the Legislative Assembly starts on the 14th of November, which is next week, Wednesday. There's a number of things that's going to be discussed in this sitting of the House, and I encourage everybody to pay close attention. If you can't watch via GIS website, or you can't watch or listen via the radio, pay attention to the news, even though sometimes the news may be subjective, but hear about what's going on and then listen to the discussions, because some important things are happening. One of the biggest important things that I think going to be a big talking point is this transition of our Labor Department and our Immigration Department to be amalgamated into one, calling the Work Department. Work, that piece of legislation is very important to me, because any legislation that governs the protection of relationships between employers and employees, immigration of persons allowed to be able to work, is a very important one. The one thing that has to be secured for Caymanians is the opportunity to provide for themselves, to survive, and that's work. That's job opportunity. So this legislation and this reform that they're doing is very important, because the current structure of how protections for Caymanians from an employment opportunity and training opportunity, I don't think is the best fit. And I'm hoping that the government will bring new legislation as well as the joining of hands together, and see how they intend to address this issue of protectionism in respect to Caymanians and their job opportunities. So that bill is something I'm looking close at. Also, the gambling bill, I think it's time for us to think about the hypocrisy within the bill, within the law itself, whether or not we want to increase the penalties, whether it'll help or harm the situation. Is it time for us to discuss whether we should have a referendum on it? There's a number of discussions. I spoke to the Ministers Association. They believe raffles that's in it is illegal, is currently gambling, considered gambling as well. There's so many things that are coming to Parliament that are something that we should all pay attention to. So starting next week, Wednesday, I want you to put your game face on, pay attention to the news and what you hear, And also, lastly, please go down to Georgetown Heritage Day today and enjoy yourself some good old food. Buddy, thank you so much for allowing me to be on the show. God bless you. God bless the listeners. And have a lovely day. And remember to love each other and love yourselves. Bye-bye.
Thank you for that blessing. Ladies and gentlemen, join me tomorrow. It's going to be a jam-packed show. In fact, we're going to be talking about the work bill tomorrow morning. Yes, we're going to be talking or ripping apart that bill as well and talking about what it means and what MLA Kenneth Bryan is going to be asking questions in LA on the 14th of November. I just want to sincerely thank all of you, and I got to go before Leroy cuts me off. It'll be remiss of me not to say, if you have a pet, please consider spaying or neutering that pet today to keep the unwanted pet population low in the Cayman Islands. In addition, please go out and celebrate, but do so responsibly. Don't drink and drive, and certainly don't boat and drink. Until tomorrow, Cayman, I'm your host, Woody DaCosta. Godspeed.
This is the only. Be a part of the conversation on Cayman Crosstalk by calling the Superior Auto Hotline, 233-1.
If it matters to you, it matters to us. We're Cayman 27, Cayman Informed.
Coming up next, Cayman's new governor walks the beat with local law enforcement.
Assurances today from civil service leaders after the Auditor General flags the slow pace of progress.
And Cayman holds talks with UK crime agency boss Donald Toon.
The under-20s get their first win at the CONCACAF Championships, plus the first for martial artists in Cayman on the international stage.
And in weather, we're tracking some showers across the area right now, but the rest of the week and the weekend's looking good. I'll give you a full forecast coming soon. Cayman 27 News is coming up next.
Eclipse Hair Design and Day Spa presents Beautiful You every second and last Thursday of the month. The beauty expert